Hello. Welcome and good morning aboard to the AM show. I'm MFA Akosiaditi. Thank you always for choosing this show over and over again, and you have made the best choice on television. We call it the AM show. Of course, we shall bring you some news updates and as well bring you some sports updates. We shall review the news this morning. And this morning on the AM show, we would dive into major national conversations shaping Ghana's governance and economic direction. First, the judiciary under the new Chief Justice, what must change, what must improve, and how her leadership could redefine justice delivery for the ordinary Ghanaian, which they say that was not the best of it. And so, his lordship, we hope to see what he can do under the judiciary. And later, we unpack the 2026 budget, the government's push towards single-digit inflation, and what any of it truly means for your pockets. You can join us via phone as well. You can join us on our social media handles. But to review the news, we shall be joined by Wanda Madillo. He is development analyst and member of the NDC communications team, and as well Awal Mohammed, who is a member of the NPP Communications Directorate. Of course, I already told you that we'll love your thoughts. Of course, you should join us across all of our social media platforms, and as well you can stream on myjoyonline.com. Thank you so much. Good morning. The AM show starts now.
Hello, good morning, and welcome aboard to AM News. My name is Denise Yapomaije. In our very first story, stakeholders in the West African sub-region have reaffirmed their commitment towards strengthening Ghana's protection and human security, being spearheaded under the Integrated Coordination Mechanism of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. Now, at a three-day workshop in Accra, the call for intensified education on interlinked risk affecting vulnerable populations re-emerged. There's more in the following report.
Over a period of 3 days, officials drawn from local and international partner agencies have been carrying out an assessment on interlinked challenges confronting Ghana's protection and human security. The broad objective is to give boost to an integrated coordination mechanism of the sub-regional body ECOWAS, launched some 2 years ago.
These include the combat of human trafficking and related offenses, irregular migration and the various vulnerabilities associated with that, child protection, including children in emergencies and those affected by armed conflicts, and child rights in general, international humanitarian law, women, peace and security, and sexual and gender-based violence, amongst other areas.
Building on FOC's that pivotal gathering in 2023, Ghana has charted an impressive trajectory of commitment to protection and human security, transforming policy aspirations into tangible action.
In spite of growing threats to peace and human security in the sub-region, international partners are reaffirming their commitment in working closely together to reduce these challenges.
We were central to the partnership that led to the regional adoption of the strategic framework for strengthening national child protection systems to prevent and respond to violence, abuse, and exploitation of children in West Africa in 2017. I have no doubt that this workshop and its outcomes will be an asset for our future work, given the opportunity ECOWAS provides to harmonize support to countries on critical themes, and most of all, keep in the children and adolescents at heart of any policy dialogue.
At the end of the deliberations, participants are expected to adopt a national roadmap for implementing a coordinated protection and human security action in Ghana. Let's against report for Joy News, Accra.
Now, government says Ghana stands to gain billions of dollars every year from its new labor export program if the framework is implemented with discipline and also strong planning. The Minister of State in charge of special initiatives, Emmanuel Kojo Ajekum, noted that the policy has the potential to pull in between $10 billion and $20 billion annually, arguing that figures may sound ambitious but are grounded in real global trends. The minister explained that nurses, IT professionals, economists, and teachers are among the first groups being placed in various Caribbean countries where demand for skilled labor continues to rise. The following report has more.
Speaking at a press briefing in Accra, the Minister of State in charge of Special Initiatives, Emmanuel Kojo Adjekum, explained that the statistics from other countries show clearly that labor export has become one of the most reliable income streams for nations with strong migrant workforces. The minister argued that Ghana can tap into similar opportunities if the country commits to structured training, strong regulation, and a coordinated effort to prepare workers for international markets.
We're looking at people who can just go as helpers, laborers, whatsoever. People who can be even just seasonal farm helpers as well. Apart from that, we're looking at people who can at least work on a ship with just a basic skill of about 6 weeks training, and they can be on a ship to cruise to wherever they want to cruise to. So these are areas that we're looking at, and this has got potentials to bring in probably more than 10 to 15, $20 billion we're talking of. One will ask, why are you mentioning such big figures? But that is the reality. The statistics are there. You can't dispute it. The statistics are there.
Emmanuel Kojo Adjekum added Ghana is now exporting skilled workers to new regions, including the Caribbean. The minister explained that nurses, IT professionals, economists, and teachers are among the first groups being placed in various Caribbean countries where demand for skilled labor continues to rise.
Doing most to the Caribbean as well, in terms of nurses, in terms of economics, in terms of IT guys. I mean, a whole lot of stuff. Not only nursing, we're doing teachers as well in the Caribbean. All the countries. Our brothers, even in Niger, needs teachers to teach English. So I think it's something that we need to explore because there's a gap. And that gap, we have what it takes to be able to fill the gap.
With registration onto the program still ongoing, the sector minister says his outfit is committed to ensuring that workers sent out receive proper training, protection and orientation before deployment, adding that their focus is not only on job placement, but also on building Ghana's international labor credibility.
Now let's head to Parliament. Ranking member of the Parliamentary Committee on Economy and Development and also MP for Ofuasia UAB, Kojo Nkrumah, has taken a swipe at government for failing to submit key policy documents, particularly on the 24-hour economy, to Parliament, despite repeated public announcements. Speaking at a roundtable discussion on the 2026 budget statement at the University of Cape Coast, he argued that the prolonged delay is undermining Parliament's oversight role. Mr. Nkrumah also stressed that without the requisite documentation, neither lawmakers, academics, nor policymakers can properly assess the feasibility, structure, or expected impact of the government's flagship policy initiatives.
The roundtable discussion, organized by the UCC School of Economics, Department of Data Science and Economic Policy, focused on the 2026 budget statement and its implementation to the benefit of the country. The Dean of the school, Professor James Atapepra, highlighting the theme of the discussion, stressed that sound economic management must be founded on evidence and proper coordination between policy and practice.
The true measure of our economic success lies in our ability to create jobs, reduce inequality, and improve the welfare of every Ghanaian. The 2026 budget statement thus presents an opportunity for us to take a deliberate, data-informed steps towards inclusive growth and shared prosperity. The theme of this roundtable discussion, from macro stability to inclusive prosperity, a data-driven strategies for implementing Ghana's 2026 budget, is both timely and profound. It captures the essence of what our national economic conversation should be about, moving beyond fiscal consolidation towards sustainable, people-centered and transformation. It reminds us that sound economic management in today's world must be anchored on evidence, analytics, and strategic coordination between policy and practice.
Ranking member on the Parliamentary Committee on Economy and Development, Kojo Opon-Kroma, questioned governments over the delay of presenting documents supporting the 24-hour economy policy in Parliament.
The government has announced or launched the program. We in Parliament have been asking them to bring the program document to Parliament so that oversight can start. Till date, it hasn't come to Parliament. In fact, not just that, there are about 11 programs that government has launched. Agri for Accelerated Development, Feed Ghana, Nkukon Kitinkiti, Big Push, and a few other programs. We've been asking that all of those programs should be brought to Parliament so that we can start the oversight. Not one has been brought to Parliament so far, so oversight is also challenged. Let me take advantage of this platform to urge on the government, bring the program documents to Parliament so that all of us can have an opportunity to interrogate and give feedback.
Economic advisor to the Vice President, Dr. Sharif Khalid, urged Ghanaians to view the 2026 budget with a non-partisan lens.
And we're calling upon all and sundry, regardless of political affiliation, that this is a bipartisan document. Since January 7th, it did not become an NDC manifesto, it has become a bipartisan document, right, for a government of the day that is headed to actually translating impact into growth. So no blame games, come together, let's build the Ghana we want to achieve.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Nkwama reports for Joy News.
Now, the Creative Arts and Tourism Minister, Jifa Ablangomashi, has emphasized the need for Africa to strategically manage the story of its cultural heritage to shape global perceptions and also strengthen the identity of younger generations. At a recent heritage management workshop, the minister highlighted the significance of Ghana's art, music, folklore and crafts as reflections of resilience, creativity and also national identity. She stressed that the continent must control how its history and also cultural achievements are presented to the world rather than leaving the narrative in the hands of outsiders. The minister outlined Ghana's ongoing investment in preserving and also presenting its heritage assets, including forts, castles, ancient artifacts, traditional buildings and intangible cultural expressions recognized by UNESCO. These efforts, she explained, not only preserve history, but also promote education, community development, and also empowerment.
Our art and our crafts, all of these, the songs as I just sang, and our folklore, as I mentioned before, embody stories of our resilience, creativity, and identity, requiring effective interpretation to derive empowerment and education. We have demonstrated the resilience and strong desire for continuous investment in improving in management and presentation of our numerous heritage assets, such as the forts, castles, and ancient artifacts, traditional buildings, and the many intangible cultural expressions which are captured on the UNESCO World Heritage List. Thankfully, as I'm beautifully adorned in my alpakata this morning, the UNESCO World Heritage has listed our kata or kente on their list. And it's a moment of pride for our country, and I hope that Africa shares in that pride as well. We therefore recognize that our stories around these heritage assets must be told in a strategic way to shape how the world perceives Africa and how our young generation values their origin. We must be in charge of the narrative of our story. Again, our forebears say, until the lion learns to write, the story will always glorify the hunter. We must be in charge of our own narrative. Ladies and gentlemen, this workshop reflects Africa's growing commitment to align heritage work with the UNESCO Culture 2030 indicators and Sustainable Development Goals. By enhancing the interpretation and presentation of our heritage, we contribute to sustainable tourism, cultural education, and community development while promoting mutual understanding and peace.
Now, hope has taken a tangible form in Cape Coast as the Aranak Foundation Food Bank, established by businessman and philanthropist Richard Ni Amakwe, begins offering free meals to support vulnerable residents in the city. In an interview with the Group HR of Aranak Holdings, Abigail Nadede, she noted that the initiative is a deliberate effort to give back to Cape Coast, a community that has significantly contributed to the businessman's journey. She emphasized that the food bank seeks to ease the burden on the needy by providing consistent food support.
The RNAQ Foundation, headed by businessman and philanthropist Richard Ni Amakwe, seeks to address food insecurity, among other purpose-driven programs that empower communities, champion local enterprise, and position wealth as a tool for transformation. Speaking in an interview during the launch of the Foundation's Cape Coast branch of its food bank, Group HR for RNAQ Holdings, Abigail Nadede shares details about the food bank, describing it as a long-term initiative.
So we've started the food bank in Accra some months ago, and our second stop is Cape Coast. This food bank will continue to operate as long as Mr. Richard Ni Amakwe, the founder of RNAQ Foundation, is alive. You just have to come here with your Ghana card, get registered, and then form a nice queue, and then when it's your turn, you are served. We don't want anyone to leave here with the food, and that's the more reason why we've provided chairs and tables so that they can dine in and also have themselves sorted. We have a good ambience for them to feel relaxed and to enjoy the thing.
She also notes that the food bank is meant to support the needy in Cape Coast and called for support for the initiative.
It is for all Ghanaians, or especially Cape Coast, those who are not able to even get one meal before they go to bed. So anywhere you are in Cape Coast, if you are not able to get food to eat before you go to bed, please don't hesitate to come to Cape Coast, where the food bank is located right at the market, so that they will all have something to eat. RNAQ Foundation door is open. Any other philanthropist who wants to join and to push this agenda is warmly welcome.
Justice, a student of the University of Cape Coast, lauded the food bank initiative as beneficial to the youth in Cape Coast.
I'm actually here at the RNAQ Food Bank, which is currently in UCC. Sincerely, to me, I'm very happy because when I was in Accra before coming here, so I was wondering, how are we going to benefit? How is the youth going to benefit? The students all over UCC is going to benefit about this food bank. So let's say, was it yesterday, and I heard of the initiative that it will be coming here in UCC, very like live, and I was like, wow, Cape Coast, yeah, and I was like, it's going to help us a lot. The youth is going to benefit from it, and I'm really, really proud of him. For me, example, it's not every youth out there that has something to eat. So with this initiative, so far as we are going to eat from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, up to Friday or Saturday, it's a very good initiative. So anytime you are ready to, or you feel hungry, you can pass by and then take it. And I think that's a great initiative. May God bless you.
From Cape Coast, Abigail Nkrumah reports for Joy News.
And that is the RNAQ Foundation opening a food bank in Cape Coast. Well, it's time for business news. I'll bring that to you after this breather. Now let's see how the cedi is trading against other major currencies on the currency market. Welcome back, and now to our first story. Director of Economics and Freedom at the American Institute for Economic Research, Dr. Peter Earle, is urging government to prioritize sustained economic reforms that deliver real improvement in the lives of Guineans. He told Joy Business that Ghana must strengthen internal economic discipline and also stability to attract meaningful foreign direct investments.
It's a fantastic development. I think people should be very proud, and I hope it keeps on going. Last I heard, inflation was between 8 and 9% year over year in Ghana. That's down from much higher a few years ago. We're doing the opposite in the United States. In the United States, we're driving inflation up, and so for that reason, I mean, I would expect that you would see improvements everywhere from unemployment to the success of businesses, GDP, all those things over time. Of course, I mean, the big thing is not to forget, and that is to never, sort of look back and say, 9% is good, maybe we can let inflation float up to 15%, whatever. It's eternal vigilance, and nations need to stay on top of that. And I mean, the rewards for having a stable currency are pretty obvious over time. You get people coming from other countries, people will want to start businesses here, that sort of thing. So I mean, it's something to be very proud of, I think.
Also, Asantehene Otumfuo Setitu II has urged African and Caribbean nations to deepen trade and economic cooperation among themselves, describing it as essential for reclaiming their shared destiny and also strengthening ties across the Atlantic. He spoke to Joy Business at the 2025 Guba Awards held in Barbados.
Guba 2025 Awards, Otumfuo Setitu II emphasized that enhanced trade among African and Caribbean nations would open new markets, promote investment, and accelerate development on both sides of the Atlantic.
Modern partnerships. So, the components of our theme are three clear imperatives: connect, build, and renew, which I spoke about this afternoon. So, let's first recognize that the term the African diaspora generally refers to the mass dispersal of people from the African continent to other parts of the world. In its scope, the term includes both involuntary or forced migration caused primarily by the transatlantic slave trade, but also the trans-Saharan and Indian Ocean slave trades, and voluntary modern-day migration for economic, political, or social reasons. In short, the African diaspora includes all global communities that descended from Africa since the 15th century through voluntary and involuntary migrations. The term emphasizes the connection to the African continent, shared ancestry, and potential or emotional link to the mother continent.
The Asantehene also encouraged the use of educational institutions to foster deeper understanding, recommending exchange programs and curriculum development that reflects the shared history of African and Caribbean people.
And that's it for business news. But before that, let's bring you some commodities. And that's it for AM News. Please don't forget that if you want more news, I know a place, myjaonline.com. My name is Denise Yapomaije. Up next is sports. Enjoy the rest of the show and have a terrific Tuesday.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to AM Sports here with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. The Court of Arbitration for Sports, they have thrown out Kim Faisal's appeal against the Ghana Football Association's Congress decision to approve an item which was in its Congress document allowing its president to go for 3 terms in office. Per a statement that was released by the World Sports Arbitration Body, Kim Faisal failed to pay the required legal fees for the case to be heard. Hence, their decision to throw out the appeal that was submitted by the club on September 1. Joy Sports had written to the Court of Arbitration for Sport, and they responded by indicating that they had given Kim Faisal up to October 23 to make payment of 23,000 euros for the case to be heard. The Ghana Football Association responded to the Court of Arbitration for Sports order, asking them to respond to the appeal submitted by Kim Faisal by September 15, of which the Ghana Football Association did. However, with Kim Faisal's failure to pay the money that was required for the president of CAS to set up a panel to hear the case, the court has decided to throw out the matter. The specific word that was used by the Court of Arbitration for Sport was that they have terminated the case brought before it by Kim Faisal. Now let's move on to the Black Stars. They will be in action later today against South Korea in their second friendly match. The senior national team had lost their first game against Japan by 2-0, and they're up against South Korea later this morning. It is a repeat of an encounter between these two sides that met at the FIFA World Cup in Qatar 2022. Head coach of the Black Stars, Otto Addo, he's been speaking ahead of the game. He says, due to some injuries that his team has suffered, he's going through some difficulties. However, he's certain that they've learned lessons from that defeat against Japan, and they're in a position to compete against South Korea later today.
We were facing some difficulties through some injured players. It's also, to be honest, not so easy for us to get replacements because of visa problems and issues. It's always not possible for us to get fast replacements. Yeah, we prepared very well. We saw a lot of matches from South Korea. We know what they're capable. They have a lot of very good players. And the defense, like Kim from Bayern Munich, but also up front, they're very strong with Lee from PSG and Song definitely, and Wang, for example, and another Lee from Mainz 05. So we know them very well. I think they've had some good results. Also, the last result against Bolivia, where they played very well, and so we know their strength. It was going to be a difficult match. I think it's going to be even. We're looking forward for the match to tomorrow. The last time we met them was at the World Cup, where we won, but it was a very close match. And yeah, we're happy to be here and happy to have this possibility to play against South Korea. A difficult match against Japan, and surely I think and hope that we learned out of it. We knew that they were going to press us, and we expect the same for Korea to do that. And for us, we know exactly what Korea can do, especially in the transition moments. So we have to learn out of the mistakes like we did in the last game, where we lost a ball in the build-up through pressing. And after that, when we were unorganized and they were fast in the offensive transition, we collected a goal. And I know that South Korea is very good in that as well. So it's very important for us to be comfortable, to stay compact, also have a good rest defense even when we build up, so that in case that we lose balls, we are not open to concede a goal.
We hear from Kamaldeen Suleimana. He says that Ghana has got a quality to beat South Korea.
It's an opponent we've already played. It's a different team that we played them a few years ago, and I know they also have different players. And like the coach said, we know their strength. We know they've got good players from from the back all the way to our front. So I think it's going to be a good match. I think it's going to be a tough game for us, but I also think we can beat them. I think we've got the quality to beat them, and we are going to try to do that. And yeah, we will see. We are very excited to be here, and it's an opportunity for each and every one of us to show the world what we are capable of, and then hopefully we're able to do it tomorrow.
We come home now and do some Ghana Premier League stories, where the head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, Abdulkarim Zito, has been speaking. He has bemoaned the packed schedule that Kumasi Asante Kotoko is going through. However, he believes the boys will go through this difficult period and stand a chance of winning the Ghana Premier League.
Now, if you go back from Hasselhoek, we went to Accra, play Hasselhoek, stay there, play Vision. On our way, our car spoiled. We reach here 11 o'clock in the night. So if you were to visit, will you train? No, I didn't train. I didn't train even the next day because I saw tiredness within the boys. And this is the league, we should play. I even said the FA should look into it in future because Dreams FC passed through this. We nearly went into relegation. Sabates, the same thing. So it's like we are not rushing. The outstanding matches are there. Why do Wednesday, Sunday, Wednesday? We are not Europeans. Europeans have an energy, and the way they eat, it energizes them. So some tablets they take, not to dope them, but to give them what the body here cannot give you. So when you do all these things, seriously, I don't think it's fair. It happened to Dreams FC and the other clubs, and it's happening now. If we have tried, at least we are on the move. You understand me? But that thing also is killing we the coaches. It's killing us.
Abdulkarim Zito, head coach of Kumasi Asante Kotoko, speaking there about the fixture schedule for his team. Let's hear from Rex Dankwa. He was one of the brainers behind Ghana's bid to secure the rights to host the African Games 2023 in Accra. He says the country would have done better if the right investment and preparation had got into the athletes. He was speaking to my colleague, Nathaniel Atto.
Yeah, I think based on the... In fact, I started working on it over a number of years, over past ministers and all, because I thought you can't do football every time. You understand? Football Cup of Nations, when there are more talent in almost every discipline. So then, why don't we do the Africa Games? That was the transfer from Supreme Council for Sports in Africa. They were handling that away from football into that. But then there were things that we should have done in the very beginning. We should have done a lot more regional championships. You understand? Because it's the talent you want to be able to represent the nation in that. So we should have gone into schools and colleges to run that line, and it was part of the blueprint. Because I always believe that you just don't go for the events without the antecedents. And the antecedent means that you have to prepare for it. Because you can't just host it and virtually last. Everybody will see that you did not plan well. So we needed to do schools and colleges, sports for a certain number of years to the games. If you had done that, the story would have been different.
Now, let's bring you some polo. There was the Lagos Cup that took place at the Polo Club, and my colleague, Abdulkarim Bonnie, was there and has details in this report.
The Ghana Armed Forces Central Band set the tone for the match, leading both teams in their national anthems. The one-sided contest held at the Accra Polo Club marked the annual tournament dedicated to strengthening unity between the neighboring countries. The acting Nigerian High Commissioner to Ghana, His Excellency Ambassador Ifeadayo Moses, attended as a special guest of honor. Accra dominated from the first chuka to the fourth, scoring a series of impressive goals that entertained the lively crowd. Accra Polo Club Suleiman Sahnoun was named the tournament's most valuable player.
Okay, I'm very excited for my playing and so happy for today's game and the staff and my horses too. So glad, happy and everything. Thank you to my grooms and everything, my staff and my bosses. So, and Accra Polo Club too.
Despite the defeat, Nigeria Polo Club President Yemo Alaki just said the real victory is a continued bonding between both nations.
Absolutely, thank you very much. You know, Ghana and Nigeria, we've always been playing this game. We go way back for more than 20 years now. It's at the end of the day, the most important thing is just showing camaraderie, sportsmanship between our two great clubs. You know, the Ghana team played very well today, or the Accra team rather played very well today. They played as a team. We did as well. We just didn't settle down on time.
Ato Encho, Executive Committee member of the Accra Polo Club, underscored the importance of such fixtures in strengthening Ghana-Nigeria relations.
And we're hoping for many more years of a successful collaboration and partnership where Accra Polo Club can go to Lagos the next time. You know, as they come, they've been coming here for the last 20 years, as you heard. But we're looking for an opportunity for Accra Polo Club players also go to Lagos and go represent Ghana there. We're very happy to have been graced by the presence of the Nigerian High Commissioner to Ghana. We like to make sure that we're involving as much as possible the individuals in the broader West Africa region to enjoy the game of polo.
Now, I leave you with a message from Ghana's ambassador to South Korea. He gave it to the Black Stars where he met them yesterday. He says they should be ambassadors on the pitch later today. And this is how we wrap up AM Sports here with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. The newspaper review will come your way right after that.
Boy. Yeah. How are you all? Welcome to Korea. It's a place where I was born and I was raised till I was 13, 14 before I moved to Ghana. Those of you from Ghana, you might have heard of the news that one Korean-looking Ghanaian has been appointed as Ghana's ambassador to Korea, and that is me. Oh, Pochito. Pochito. I remember when I was schooling at SOS college. Yes, I remember you playing for Ghana. I remember we qualified to second round. Is it 2006? I remember, you know, Coach Otto Ado. Thank you very much for your service. What I want to tell you is that you are here not just being part of journey as an accident. Your decision and your step actually is a message to the next generation and to those who are watching all of us. Hello? Hi. But I want to tell all of you that you are ready. All of you are ready. And Korea has so much respect for all of you. Because when they talk about the football power of Africa, Ghana always comes atop. And you are here representing Ghana. So the question that I'm going to ask you is, do you think you are small? I said, no. You guys are big. And you are already big enough. I understand that we faced a very nice defeat in Japan. I understand coach is trying a lot of experiments here and there. And I also understand that some of our, the big boys are not here. I believe this gives us a better opportunity for all of us. This is actually a moment for you to believe in yourself and do that shot which you think that belongs to the big boys. So boy, yeah. Tomorrow is the day. And you are not small. You guys are big. Koreans are known for their tenacity. You know, they don't give up. When they are losing till the last minute, they don't give up. Oh. And I want to leave a message to them that, you know what? We are better. Let's enjoy the match together. I think you'll actually perform best when you actually are enjoying the game. And lastly, let us think of our president small. Let's think of our president, John Dramani Mahama. The man is really working on. And all of you think president can do anything. You think that he has all the power. It's the most loneliest job you can think of. And he takes such joy and certain, what should I say, encouragement when he sees that our youngsters like you are performing in world stages. And today, as the Ghana's ambassador to Korea, may I appoint all of you as Ghana's ambassador to Korea on the pitch tomorrow. Please, big voice. So boy. Yeah. So boy. Yeah. Let's do it. Let's give it up.
AM show sponsored by Kenoga Company Limited and Syntex Tanks. And the newspaper review is also sponsored by Shield Silicon Paint from Azar Group. Well, Syntex Pipes and Time Herbal Mixture. And MFA Akosia Adeti with a beautiful smile is standing by the smart wall to get us into what the papers are reporting this morning. MFA, good morning.
Good morning, Kuja. How are you?
I'm well.
You're quite calm this morning.
Yeah. Yeah.
This and that.
Yeah.
This and that, right?
Yeah, like maybe we are one some. But it's
I know, right? Okay, let's bring you what's happening in front of the newspapers. We're starting with the Daily Graphic this morning. Of course, Ghana has a new Chief Justice. He's been acting since April. But finally, he's been sworn into office, and so yes, we do have a Chief Justice. And some of the things he's been saying yesterday is that he will uphold judicial integrity. The president as well has been saying that he would uphold judicial integrity, and he's been telling the Chief Justice who was just sworn in yesterday. Also, on the 2026 budget, VAT reforms to boost business growth, GRA board story is on page 13 of the Daily Graphic, and Speaker launches scholarship for MPs and parliamentary staff as well is also on page 13 of the Daily Graphic this morning. And the story about how the president has been assuring or reaffirming his upholding judicial integrity is on page 3 of the Daily Graphic. We go to the next paper this morning. The Ghanaian Times this morning is reporting on how Upper East regional farmers face existential threat from donkey slaughter and as well climate crisis. Stories on page 12 of the Ghanaian Times. Inflation for building sector eases to 9.7% in September, and the Ghana Statistical Service is reporting this. Story is on page 9 of the Ghanaian Times this morning. Military recruitment in Accra resumes Thursday across 8 centers. This is part of the reforms, the new reforms that have been introduced following that stampede that happened at Elwak. Stories on page 3 of the Ghanaian Times this morning. And behind the Ghanaian Times, EU supports Ghana with 31 million Ghana cedis to restore forests. Okay, that's quite a good one. And feasibility studies designed for bridge over Afam River complete. Finance Minister has been providing some updates. You want to grab a copy of the Ghanaian Times this morning. Lots of stories. So move to the inside. Baffoe Bonnie is Ghana's new Chief Justice and vows to ensure judiciary serves all, not the powerful. Story is on the inside, but continues on page 3 of the Inside newspaper as well. Other stories, Kujo, my poor vision.
Gold Board refute 3 billion losses claim as industry experts commend Sami Jemfi for value addition initiative. Stories on page 5 of that paper. For forestry staff indicted despite generating record 623,000 cedis for the commission. That will be an interesting read on page 2
Of the Insight. Okay.
As Beijing opens market to 53 African nations, SMG hails China's landmark zero tariff policy for Ghana.
Okay.
Comes with a picture of Chinese President Xi Jinping. So get details of that there. And come for negotiation for your own good. North of Angkor, land encroachers told. And CPP stalwart demands arrest of Galamsey kingpins, not laborers.
Okay, thank you. That's a good one for the insights. We move to the newspaper. Other newspapers, they find that job creation is the surest path to improving incomes. Economists as well as me speaking. Story is on page 2 of the New Finder. Market capitalization hits 165.5 billion Ghana cedis as GSE ends week on strong momentum. You want to take a read? It's in the New Finder this morning. Ghana tightens appliance import regulation ahead of December 1 deadline. So you recall that there was a story earlier that some companies, when they import, they artificially create the 5-star to create that the appliance is energy conservative. So they've been clamping down on that as well. New measures will widen tax nets, boost corporate income revenue. These are some of the fallouts from the 2026 budget that was read to us earlier. Go to another newspaper this morning. The overseer, Ato, has restored hope after 8 years of mismanagement. Steve Mantiao hails 2026 budget, and Gold Board denies 3 billion loss, calls Asase Radio reports false and misleading. Story is on page 2 of the Overseer this morning. And importers welcome withdrawal of Hajia Rashida Mahama from Tema Port. Story would be, this is quite a sector story, a very sector-specific story. You're interested is on page 2 of the Overseer this morning. The government prioritizes food security. Eric Opoku, definitely from one of that interview that you had with him yesterday. Okay, another paper this morning, quickly. The New Republic, OSP bully boy in 5-hour elevator rampage. Lawyer grilled, starved and slapped with bogus charges in explosive corruption probe. I would look at this when I take a seat and then give you an update on that. Yeah, this is quite a novel story for me. I would take a look at it. And then NPA marks 20 years of petroleum regulation. Story is on page 11 of the New Finder as well. Palace School in Kwewu sparks a firestorm. There has been some stories making round. While I cannot confirm the exact story or what is caused what's happening in Kwewu, the story is on page, I think, 3 of the New Republic this morning. Next paper, quickly. This will be the last paper. The Catalyst, Asase Radio reports false and mischievous. Gold Board has been responding. Accra Kumasi Expressway to be completed in 3 years. And Mahama unleashes Ghana's new maritime powerhouse as well. Now, this one is quite of a personal interest to me. Women's Development Bank is here. So you grab a copy, or I will go into it and I'll give you a quick update on that. But that is the Catalyst, and that's how we wrap up the headlines on the newspapers. Of course, what's the news review without myjoyonline.com? And so if you visit myjoyonline.com, you'd find loads of stories. Our top story this morning, VAT reform ends years of business pain. If you're interested, you take a read on myjoyonline.com, Kojo.
Okay. All right. So let's get into the papers and, deal with what the papers are reporting this morning. You were interested in the OSP story, so I'm giving you the Republic paper for you to go through, and others as well. We've been joined in studio by Wanda Madillo. He is a development consultant and a member of the National Democratic Congress's communications team. Good morning to you, Wanda.
Yes, good morning.
Everything good?
Yeah, so far so good. We can't complain.
There's not much to complain about.
No, I mean, life will certainly go on. I mean, it doesn't matter what happens. God has been very faithful, very good to us, and so we can only but thank God for the years, the days, the months ahead.
Okay. All right. Let's get straight into action here and look at the issues that we've lined up to discuss already with you, Wanda Madillo. But wherever you are, this is the AM show. brought to you by Kenoga Company Limited and also by Syntex Tank. But let's start with judiciary under the new Chief Justice. What must change? We all know the road that has brought us to to where we are today. What must change?
And I'm going to be very, very careful in what I say. The reason is that...
Else.
Oh, well, not else, but you're talking about an institution of state, I mean, the third arm of government, and you've got to measure your words carefully so you don't injure the reputation of a whole institution of state. And therefore, I am particularly excited that the new Chief Justice is beginning to talk to issues of integrity. If you take out integrity in all our discourse about the judiciary, everything is gone. You remember some years ago when the NAS story broke with this yam thing and bribery and all that. You saw how low the judiciary went and how people were willing to now volunteer information as to what happened to them when they were in court and who took bribe, who didn't take bribe, and all those things does not help investor confidence. Forget about even investor confidence. It doesn't help justice delivery. People don't believe that they can get justice when they go to court. And therefore you see the overflow of that into areas such as people beginning to become violent, taking the law into their own hands. And then they because they don't believe in the judiciary system, nothing works. Even when you have a civil issue between your brother, it becomes a criminal issue because you want to take the law into your own hands and do what you've got to do. Whereas you would have ordinarily gone to court and, seek some justice in that respect. So we need the judiciary to be up and doing. I think that over the last few years we have lost that gel that you see around state institutions. I'm not talking about the judiciary, state institutions, because the actions of one or the other brings it into disrepute. You saw how long it took us to come into terms with the Electoral Commission, the removal of Charlotte Osei and how we were rated internationally and all that. So I'm very particular that the current judiciary must be up and running, number one. They must show impartiality in their deliveries. They must also be very, very quick in their deliveries. You see, justice delayed, they say, is justice denied. If I need something today and you give it to me after 5 years, perhaps that person is no longer there, is of no use. And so time spent in court in delivery of some of these cases are also very important because it also sparks of some of the suspicions of bias. That's one. I remember many years ago you hear stories, oh, we've been in court, our case was not heard, somebody showed up in court and the following day the case is being heard and all that. And even in the vetting of the current Chief Justice, it came up when they were asking about placement of cases and who got which case and with that case and all that. And I remember many years ago the judiciary decided to implement an IT system that does an automatic placement of cases. Reports were that in the last, under the auspices of the last Chief Justice, the first thing she did when she came to office was to suspend that automatic placement. And therefore now all cases have to come to her place and then she decides which judge takes it. That wouldn't have been a problem if it is done fairly. It won't be a problem if justice is delivered. It won't be a problem if the empaneling is done in such a manner that even the judges who are available to be empaneled are comfortable. You also heard the Chief Justice talk about the fact that for 1 whole year, he was never empaneled. In other words, he was receiving salaries, government was paying him and everything, and yet for 1 whole year, he was idle. At the same time, we were requesting for more judges. So how do you marry some of these narratives? It is these narratives that gives cause to worry in the judiciary. And then some lawyers have also come out and complained about their treatment in court and how justice was delivered and all that. Those are all in the realms of assumptions and all that. But the reality is that we must be seen to be doing the right thing at all times. That's one. Number two, I also want the judiciary to be properly independent. I want a situation where the judiciary does not need their budget to be vetted. Because you see, there is a difficulty if you tell me you are independent and at the same time you draw salary from me. I'm likely to tell you some things. And I'm not talking about NDC, I'm not talking about MPP. I'm talking about how we can make our judiciary, our legislature very, very independent. To the extent that they are not subject to, of course they do generate, they have internally generated funds.
Yes,
when we go to court and we file and all that, money is generated. And so what is that used for? All that we need to find a way. The court can actually make enough money.
On your independence in terms of their budget.
No, they are already independent.
Yes.
That is without question. What I'm saying is I'm looking for a situation where one day they do not need to come to the executive for approval in terms of their budget. Maybe they can go directly to Parliament or wherever and it's approved and it's added to the executive budget. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying that, you know, they don't have independence. They do have independence, and at every given point in time, what we are looking for is an enhancement of that independence so that justice is seen to be delivered and justice is delivered in the interest of the public and the international community. You know that there are some countries, and I don't want to mention them, right in our sub-region here, nobody trusts their judiciary, and therefore investment in those areas is a problem. Because when people bring funds into this country, millions of dollars, they expect that when something goes wrong, they can go to court and get justice for themselves. But if you have a caricature of a system where everybody does what they like, or there's power play, or there's show of force and presence, you do not get the environment to be able to do this. That's why some of the countries don't even want their nationals to be tried in other countries. When there's a national commits an offense in another country, they will write asking for the person to be tried in their own soil because they do not trust the judicial system of some of those countries. Ghana is an exception. We believe that it's an exception. It will always be an exception. We have traveled a lot of distance to get here. We've had the dark days of the judiciary. We've had the bright days of the judiciary. I want us to continue on that tangent. And I'm very committed that the president, I'm very sure and very, very, much convinced that the president means his words when he says that he wants the judiciary to uphold integrity, to uphold rule of law, to uphold separation of powers, and also to defend in terms of justice for the people.
Okay. We've been joined in studio by our friend from the other side of Wanda Madillo's party. Let me come to you, MFA.
Hi, Awal, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, your week has started quite busy already.
Yes. So
he's making a lot of money.
He's making a lot of money.
In opposition?
Are you? I saw one of your members saying that opposition is not good, though.
Well, especially when you stay in government for 8 years and you've been in government and now you are in opposition. So you're not really...
What is not good about it?
There are a lot of things that you can do when you are in government that you cannot do today. For instance, as simple as posting of NSS. You can't do it when you are even in opposition, but in government you can drive there, give it to whoever you want to give it to over there. Then they will do it for you.
As in posting of national service personnel.
For people, yes.
But it's just a portal. You open it, click and apply. Isn't that what you are posting you don't like?
People want to repost things. And so I'm telling you that something that is very easy to be done when you are in government. For instance, if the person...
Are you not seeking special treatments because you are in power?
Oh, not necessarily. But you see, you will be there. I'm even surprised you who work in the public eye is also asking me this question, because I know a lot of people will tell you that because you host the NSS person here, I know you can do my reposting for me.
And you actually rig the system. Is that what that is?
Not necessarily, because some people have genuine cause to go to where they...
But the genuine process you can go through to be reposted. If you have genuine cause.
Yeah, the challenge is that they don't really do it. They will tell you that go to the regional office.
Okay.
Go to the regional office.
Let's talk about the judiciary first. Well, I mean, let me take your initial comments. A lot has been happening. The president, of course, swore in the Chief Justice yesterday. The Chief Justice has been saying a lot of things. But for you, immediate reforms you're hoping to see?
Well, thank you so much, and good morning to our cherished viewers. And I think I don't anticipate anything different from what has been happening over time, looking at how contentious his appointment has been and even the approval. I don't understand the rush. But you see, you can only say that indeed the NDC sat in their headquarters, schemed to remove Justice Tokono from office so that they could get someone who they think will toe their line in terms of what they want to do with the judiciary. Because you see, on this platform, on Joy News here, Asi Edun Ketia came just after they won the elections and said that Justice Tokono must go. Subsequently, Mustafa Bandi also granted the interview. So you could tell that indeed from the headquarters, they do not want her there. Within weeks, we saw petitions. And to the extent that today, if you ask anyone why she was removed, they will say because she took an allowance. In this country, Ghana.
Are you sure?
Yes, but what were the charges? 3. One is that she had done transfers. The second one is that she had adjudicated on a case and made some pronouncements with Justice Pamai and others. And the other one, she took her husband or the daughter to a place that she took an allowance when she was supposed to take her security with her. She did not pay herself those allowances. And that is the only charge. The 2 were not used. The only charge that was used was the one that she took allowances. So he was talking about investor confidence and so on. One of the things investors look in terms of investing in any country is judicial independence. Today, we have a supreme leader. He has absolute control of over the executive, absolute control over legislature. The last bastion, which is the judiciary, the president has taken absolute control of it.
That's hard to believe.
Yes, it's not.
No, because even if he wanted to, how would the Constitution allow that?
So, but he has done it today, because today, the appointment of Justice Baffoe Bonnie is still contentious because there are 7 different cases in court challenging the removal of the former Chief Justice.
But the justice who has just been sworn in, who has been at the Supreme Court for years, or who's been in this legal system for years, is saying that what's the worst that can happen if she has her day in court, and then the directive is that he steps down as Chief Justice, he will. He's been given that assurance. What's the challenge
it is not that easy, because you work with laws. Someone has been appointed, duly appointed, passed through the process, went through vetting, and has been approved. And you are saying that if she wins the case, she can still come back and the person will be stepped aside?
But how?
Why the rush then? Because in this country, we have had people who had occupied such positions on acting for years. Even IGP, we had an IGP who worked for 1 year as an acting.
You agree that there have been some years where there have been legal debate as to whether the decision of an acting person is binding or not. Have you not heard
It is binding. It is binding.
Is it?
Yes, it is binding, because almost all the decisions that he took when he took over as an acting,
of course, will be some decisions,
were binding. Right? You understand? What I'm saying is that because the case is in court, 7 different cases are in court challenging her, the legitimacy of her removal. We were thinking that the president will hold on.
The whole country?
Yes, but the judicial system is going on smoothly without any hitch. So why will you rush when there is a case in court?
So because of that, you will not expect any reforms at all?
I don't think so.
If you have a matter today, would you
the problem is that, as I said,
redress in court if you had a matter today?
I will, because that is what I am supposed to do. But the trust in the system is waning by the day.
You will seek a court redress.
I will.
But you will not have trust in the court that
the trust is waning by the day, because the Ghanaian do not understand when president, then as a candidate, went to Akosombo, met NDC lawyers, and was lamenting that the Supreme Court had 15 justices. And said that the president, then Akufo-Addo, was packing the judiciary with the NDC people, with MPP people. He said he didn't see how Ghana, a small country like this, has 15. Okay. Meanwhile, when you check, almost all the appointments Akufo-Addo did were replacements.
Okay, let's make progress.
Now he appointed 7.
Let's make progress.
I'm saying
today.
Yes.
Today, the matters that she has taken to court are still there.
Yes.
Right? It's not that because we have a new Chief Justice, it rules away her right to still seek redress in courts. But we also have a Chief Justice. And you have also just said that if you have a matter, despite you say that the trust is waning by the day, you will still seek redress in court, which means that you will still adhere to the judicial rules in this country.
Yes, I will.
Do you not like any reform at all?
You see, the problem is that the president has used some trump-up charges to remove the Chief Justice. Now, a new Chief Justice is on. 7 new justices of the Supreme Court have been appointed and they are working.
21 appeals court judges, 35 high court judges. Within the last 10 months, the president has appointed close to 100 justices. And because it was a promise to NDC lawyers that bide your time, when I come as president, this is what I will want to do. I will make sure that you are represented at the bench. So it tells you that the trust in the system will wane. And again, when you ask me about whether Justice Sokono will still go through the court process and whether she will be successful, I doubt her success in court. Because you see, when Eko Vincent Assefuwa
under which laws will she be going? Is it not the same laws as she presided over?
The same laws.
Why would you doubt it then?
You see, when Eko Vincent Assefuwa went to court and was challenging that indeed the process the president was using to remove her was not legal, he went to the Supreme Court. 3 justices were empaneled. Justice Sibo Asiedu, the first day of the hearing, didn't really show up, so they had to postpone it. Just after the postponement, the president appointed him, they suspended her, appointed him as a member of the 3-member committee that will work on her removal. Then Justice Baffoe Bonnie took as an acting Chief Justice, dissolved the panel, empaneled himself as part of the 5 people. It was initially 3. He empaneled himself, and there were 5. In the court, her lawyers argued that because he will be the ultimate beneficiary if really the case goes against the government, he should recuse himself. He declined to recuse, and it ended 3-2 with him voting and 2 justices saying that indeed the president did not pass through the right process to suspend her.
Okay.
This is the reason why we're saying that the judiciary, the president is taking absolute control of the judiciary, and that portends danger for this country. It doesn't even give investor confidence because they want independent judiciary to work in a country.
These are hard-hitting debates he's advancing, arguments.
No, these are very flimsy, pedestrian commentaries from the MPP. And sometimes you are wondering whether the continuous lie, they are not tired with it. I want to ask, is the MPP not tired with the lies?
So point out the lies so that...
Number 1, when President John Mahama went through the process and the Chief Justice was removed, did President Mahama appoint somebody away, outside of the same Supreme Court to be in charge or not? Answer me.
But it's also...
No, you said he has taken over the judiciary. He has decided to be in charge and all that. There was a senior most to the one who was removed. Due process followed. And that person has been asked to step aside. The senior most at the bar, which you worked with for your 8 years, suddenly has become an albatross on your neck. That's number 1. Number 2, there are 3 grounds based on equity why an injunction will be granted. You tried an injunction and failed in the same court. And I'll take inspiration from Giela versus Casman Brown, 1973. 3 grounds. Number 1, and because maybe you don't understand law a little.
He's not said that.
So I'm going to give him the benefit of that because he went after the judiciary and saying all kinds of things. I don't know if you ever win one day, you can work with the judiciary. Number 1, you were looking for an injunction which you didn't get. And these are the 3 grounds on which any court will grant you injunction in this matter. You were asking for injunction to stop the appointment of a new Chief Justice, which was thrown out, right? You agree with that? And I can continue. Do you want me to continue? Say it.
No, you don't have to ask him questions.
No, I need to ask him because
you can't.
The lies are becoming too much for us. Number 1, you need to establish a prima facie case that the event leading to the appointment of a new justice is flawed.
Yes.
Unambiguous. It's not something you live on assumption. That's number 1. Number 2, irreparable harm. You must establish that the removal of the Chief Justice and the appointment of a new one has caused an irreparable harm to the woman. The last one, which is the main one, is what we call balance of convenience. And in the balance of convenience, we must weigh the options between leaving the seat of the judiciary vacant as against one man fighting to have it. And on that score, the court will decide that, listen, you are just one man. Anytime the decision is taken and you win this case, you can't be compensated. And therefore, they will throw that injunction out of gear. Because one man cannot hold the whole state.
Well, the person has to prove all these three before.
Yes, you need to prove all these three in court. And that's where she failed. Number two, you have stated on this program that John Mahama is now a supreme leader. We don't see him as a supreme leader. That's your narrative. Even when you didn't have the numbers under Akufo-Addo, you tried to have this country to yourself, but you didn't get it. John Mahama is not seeing himself as a supreme leader. You have been going on and on and on and on over this debate about he's a supreme leader. We have never said anywhere that John Mahama is a supreme leader. We have followed due process. Judges that you have appointed under Akufo-Addo, almost all the judges at the Supreme Court under your tenure were appointed under your tenure. Almost all of them. And you can see the ratio.
But I used to say,
so if you cannot work,
almost when some people have been added during Mohammed's time.
No, before the case. I mean, when this case, at the time this case was started, John Mahama didn't appoint any new chief judge, any new Supreme Court judge to go and sit on any matter. Okay. The people who sat on the matter were people that worked with them throughout their tenure. How did you suddenly become suspicious of these people?
Justice for mine.
How did you suddenly become?
Was he appointed
Listen, how did you suddenly become suspicious of the same people who were giving you the 9-0, the 7-0, the 5-0, the 3 zeros? How? How selective can you be in your assessment of the...
Now there are new judges who have been added. So
we're talking in context.
Right?
The new judges that have been added did not sit on these cases.
No, but she still has pending cases. Then they do eventually...
And the pending cases were there before they were appointed. Even if they were empaneled, what is wrong with that? We worked with Georgina Wood for 8 years. President Kufuor appointed Georgina Wood. NDC was in power from 2009 all the way to 2012, 2016. We worked with Georgina Wood. We had no problems.
A landmark case under her tenure.
Which landmark case?
The 2013. I mean, she was Chief Justice, right?
Yes, the 2013 elections.
Yeah.
So, what's that? What's that? I don't understand what it means.
No, but I mean your point is that you worked with her.
Yeah, we worked with her. Yeah. But we came to government in 2009. You are talking about 2013. So what? We worked with her.
It doesn't change anything, does it?
So, what? I don't understand what you mean by it doesn't change anything.
It doesn't change anything.
Did we work with her or didn't we work with her?
We did, yes.
Period. We worked with her.
But she's
are you then saying no? Are you then saying that the ruling in 2013 on the electoral petition by the MPP was given to the NDC because...
Oh, no, not that.
Yeah, certainly.
It's on merit.
So I'm saying we work with her. They must learn to work with people. They are the only ones who came to government and removed Charlotte Osei without any... I mean, they just can't be bothered. And that's why you are worried. You think the NDC is doing the same thing. Lastly, he lied on this show by saying that Asiedu was on this show and said that the Chief Justice should be removed. That's not true.
Yes.
On August 25th, Asiedu actually granted an interview and said that there is no agenda by government to remove the Chief Justice. And that what was going on was a reform or a reset of our institutions of states that have gone below bar. And therefore, don't make attributions or commentaries you don't have facts about.
What's the meaning of a reset of the institutions that have gone below?
That was part of our promise.
So what?
There were a lot of corruption cases.
Okay.
No, listen, there are a lot of corruption cases. There were institutions that did not have focus. There were institutions that were making losses. There were institutions that became a burden on the public purse. There were institutions that also were, engaged in frivolities on issues that did not matter to the overall interest of the Ghanaian. And you can see all of them happening.
Like which institutions?
For instance, we just heard the audit that was done by the finance minister has unearthed 10 billion Ghana cedis of claims that people were making to be paid from the state coffers. And we ended up realizing that, no, those claims were frivolous. Those claims did not exist. That's what of the rot I'm talking about. We're talking about the debt that was left in the energy sector, 69 billion. That's what I'm talking about. We're talking about the debt that Bank of Ghana went into, 60 billion in 1 year. And yet they were building a head office of $258 million. We are talking about issues of NHIS. We are talking about GET Fund. We're talking about institutions of state, road fund and all that. We're talking about the District Assembly Common Fund, that was mortgage. We're talking about student loan trust that did not exist. We're talking about rot in our constitution. We're talking about institutions like National Service. How much was uncovered? 2.2 billion. We are talking about National Signals Bureau, when people connive with their wives and create accounts, fictitious dealings. So those are the challenges.
That's in court, so let's hold on.
Okay, good. So those are the challenges. And that's what we mean when we didn't promise this when we came to government. This was promised in opposition.
But
that when we win, we will straighten all this in the interest of the Ghanaian. Number two, the person who wrote the petition for the removal of the Chief Justice, the renowned Daniel Foy, many people don't even know who he is.
Are you doubting his claim that your chairman sat here to...
What makes him renowned?
I said we never made that comment.
What makes the petitioner renowned?
Daniel Foy. Daniel Foy is the biggest investor in all our stock. He holds the biggest share in Ghana Commercial Bank, in CBG, all the banks. SNIT and all the other places.
Is he that man?
Yes, the white man, Whitechapel. Those days we used to know him as Whitechapel.
The biggest investor in SNIT.
Yes, biggest investor in almost all our stocks. He's not an ordinary person. He's not one young guy that you call and say, go and do this for me. He's not a poster boy like they did with Charlotte Osei. So you don't impugn the integrity of people just for nothing. Prove to me where I see you said on this show that the Chief Justice had to remove. Prove for me. I want to hear that.
So, in essence, if he didn't say specifically that the Chief Justice will be removed, but said that you're going to reset and reform the judiciary, is that
he never said
he said institutions.
He said institutions. State institutions.
Would you mention judiciary?
He mentioned look, this is your own portal.
Would you
right? This is your own Joy FM portal.
No, but would you
there
see
is
this
no
as part of the reformation?
Suspended Chief Justice.
When August. This is August.
I'm saying
the process had already been. Check the story. You are talking about a story that happened in August. When he said in February, these are things that he said in February. I want your own. I'm coming. Let's make progress. Let me also take my time.
This is not the center of the debate. My question is that for the judiciary now, we have a new Chief Justice. That is also an institution.
Yes.
Do you see that as a reform or as a reset? Do you see that at all? Can we then now impute it as part of what he said? That the judiciary as an institution also required a reset.
Every institution of state that became a burden, that became a worry, that became a concern, that was run in a manner that is not befitting. If due process is followed and the person is removed, I don't have a problem. I do not have a problem. I do not have a problem.
So let me just pick things that he has said so that I can react to them. One is that Charlotte Osei was not removed arbitrarily. Charlotte Osei were in this country when she started fighting with Amadou Sule and Georgina Pokuamankwa.
How do you mean? Fighting as in?
Yes, on social media. Amadou Sule accused her. She accused Amadou Sule of taking 5 million Ghana cedi from the NDC to do illegal transfers. Amadou Sule and Georgina Pokuamankwa said that she had turned herself into procurement expert and was given issue and procurement and so on. And that was the basis that she was removed. Procurement breaches and sidelining the public procurement authority for them to do. I'm saying that when you said that,
so there was no petition.
We did not really have a just cause to remove her. And I'm telling you that these are matters of public records. Now, when you juxtapose it or you compare it with what happened in Tokono, Tokono was removed because of an allowance he took.
No, but
allowances, nothing more, nothing less.
While I kind of followed this process, and because these are legal issues, then you are it's a bit pedestrian to say that just because of allowance. So what you then do is you put the work of the Auditor General. You make it look like they did absolutely nothing. You also make it look like the prima facie case that was determined in consultation with the Council of State also is absolutely nothing.
Yes, because
so basically from the beginning of the process,
the person in charge of legal on the Council of State abstained from the voting. Indeed, they went to Justice Kwamai together with Professor Nana, Dr. SKB Asante to tell them that the process was flawed. They wrote the constitution of this country. The 1992 constitution was written, and the chairman of experts was Nana Professor SKB.
So the process, the 146.
You went to Justice Kwamai's.
The 146.
Exactly.
It's flawed, but we've not changed it.
You see, the thing is that
a lot of people have had issues with many provisions in the constitution.
They already have their predetermined.
They were undergoing with the 146. That's why the former Chief Justice and Dr. KB
went to the place and told Justice Kwamai that,
in fact,
indeed, the removal was flawed.
I heard the Chief Justice also say that the misconduct as described is a bit too frivolous. It's too lightweight to want to remove a Chief Justice. But my concern is that if you pick the Constitution today, there are definitely some parts of the Constitution that a lot of people have issues with. In fact, people believe that it doesn't mirror the aspirations of a lot of people
have issues with. Former Sophia Kufu gave an instance where she also traveled and was overpaid and she only refunded it. So why would you say that because she went to a trip with a husband instead of the security? So the husband was paid allowance, and on the basis of that, you removed her.
Okay, so do
that
I hear you?
The bone in contention now. That is the problem today.
So do I hear you say that, oh yes, there was something done, but the punishment that has been given is a bit too much, or what?
You see?
Because Justice Sophia Akufo refunded
to kill a fly, because you see, she doesn't pay herself the allowances. It is someone who is in charge of the payments. She is not a signatory to that account that she paid herself. And it's not on record that she paid herself. Someone paid the allowance. And if the person paid allowance, the person will do a surcharge. And it's allowance so that the person will pay. She will pay the money is back. Again, she's also saying that she suffered irreparable damage. Looking at her 30 years at the bar, she worked as a Chief Justice. She worked as a Supreme Court judge. Today, she was elevated to be the Chief Justice.
Yeah.
Now, the misconduct is associated, the so-called misconduct is associated with her office as Chief Justice. Why can't she come back as the Supreme Court judge?
Which is a good point you have just advanced. Wonder, you know, and it's the reason I was asking if one must prove all of those, because I can't see how a person will say that removal based on misconduct cannot amount to irreparable damage. Misconduct, imagine, think about it.
You know, when they say reparable damage or irreparable damage or harm, the focus is not on just you. This is a public matter. This is a case of the public.
Which is going as head.
The sovereignty of the state is at stake. Why didn't they, when they went to court in 2012, 2013 or 2013, why didn't that stop the inauguration of John Mahama?
Because the Constitution provides specific dates.
Dates?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
But this one, there's no date.
But think about it.
Listen to this carefully. They were in court challenging the legitimacy.
Yes.
In other words, you are saying that even that date is not qualified to be sworn in on that date.
Yes.
Is that not it?
Yes.
In the wisdom of the court, let it proceed.
No, it's not a court that said let it proceed.
Oh,
it is the timetable that was followed. No, which court said we should be inaugurated? It was the timetable that was followed. The EC said they have certified that President Mahama has been duly elected. And they followed the process and did that.
You listen to me carefully.
So, it is not the court.
Hold on. Allow Wanda to make his point. Wanda, make your point.
In 2016, when we went to court.
No, go back to the 2012.
No, come in. There are two cases. I'm dealing with two election petition cases. We learned lessons from 2013 and made some arrangements for what you call handing over if there are issues. In 2016, when we went to court.
You didn't go to court.
It's 2020.
2020?
Yes.
2020.
Yes.
When we went to court in 2020, after the 2020 election, we didn't even go to court in 2021 or so. That's when we went to court because the election was over and we went to court. Did that stop the installment of Akufo-Addo as president? No.
No, it didn't.
Because in the wisdom of the court, whatever the outcome is, can you please listen?
It's not a court. It's the process that is already there. So you have
let
to
him make the point. Let him land.
There was a first injunction we were seeking to stop the process. And that did not happen because
to stop which another process?
Yes.
The newly elected.
We were challenging the results, and therefore we're saying that once we are challenging the results, you cannot go ahead and put the person on the seat.
No,
and that was set aside. We didn't win that. Then they set date for the main court hearings. And then when the court hearings came on, at the time the court hearings was in process, there was a president of the republic. Because there will be more damage caused to this state not having a president for that long. In fact, when they went to court, the case was in court for 8 months. The ruling came somewhere in August, when we had gone to court in January. And so the irreparable damage that would have been caused is to the public, it's not to you.
But
listen to me.
Was it the public that went to court?
No.
It was the NDC that went to court. Case. But the injunction you're
seeking... Listen to me, it's a public interest case. I'm not seeking an injunction for my household. I'm seeking an injunction to stop a whole state...
You didn't even injunct it.
From putting...
That's a fallacy.
Oh, come on, please. Can you please... I didn't say we injuncted.
That you didn't even go for even injunction. You can't even do that because the CI 71 is clear that if you do not really trust the process.
If you listen, you know what I'm talking about. But the interjection.
We are doing education. Let no one say that you went to court and you were seeking to injunct the process of swearing in of the president. It never happened because the CI 71 was clear on if you dispute it, pass through the process and go
and I'm
to
saying
the court.
That CI was a learning curve. We learned from what happened in 2012.
71 was.
Remind us, what was it that happened in 2012?
So in 2012, we didn't. The courts they don't even have a process for hearing cases of electoral disputes. In the court's own wisdom, they had to sit down, and that's why the case traveled that long. By the time we're having the CI 71 or so, CI 71, right?
Yes.
Which is the one that ran the 2020 elections, the court itself had put in a system on how to hear some of those cases. And that's what happened. So the two cases did not travel the same distance because there was a program in place. Can you please allow me?
Let me help you.
You are beginning to
make your point.
And I'm saying that
I'm not cutting you. But in 2020, you didn't file an injunction.
No, I'm saying that we couldn't have filed an injunction because there was not even a process. There was not even a system on how to stop that process. It was by the 2020 elections that the CI brought a modality on how election petitions should be heard. That's what I'm trying to say. In the 2012 elections, we couldn't have done that. None of those was available to us. We had none of such remedies to even apply for. But by 2020 elections, it was clear how the process should travel within the court system. It's just like even cases of disease partners and all that, and how they should be buried. The court just recently brought together a system how some of these things should be handled. So we learned from past mistakes. And I'm saying that in the wisdom of the court, the state will lose more if there's nobody as Chief Justice than you as a person losing your seat as Chief Justice. We can always compensate you.
How would the state lose?
The state loses because there's no way in a constitution that says that an acting Chief Justice can do this or do that or do that. There's nowhere there. It says the Chief Justice. Just like even the Electoral Commission. Do you realize that the Electoral Commission, our laws on the Electoral Commission, does not even give credence to the deputies?
So how was the state going?
Election declaration is done by the Chief Justice himself, not the deputies. And there's nowhere, no provision that says that the deputy can even declare results. So a vacant Electoral Commissioner on the day of election is a risk.
Let's stay with the CJ.
No, hold on. I'm coming. I'm giving you more examples. When the late president passed, President Mose passed, the Chief Justice, we were told, was not even in the jurisdiction. But because the law says he must be sworn in by the Chief Justice, they had to fly her down. You remember that story? Why not any other acting in her stead? Because the laws did not allow that.
Because
and I'm saying that
have an acting CJ then.
No, you don't need to have an acting CJ. When she was leaving the senior most act. You don't need it.
So I'm asking, what would the country have lost?
The country would have lost because there are specific provisions that must be, specific things that have been performed by the Chief Justice and not an acting Chief Justice. Oh, for instance, swearing in should be done by the president, by the Chief Justice. For instance, God forbid, if something happens today and we go for new elections, we need the Chief Justice to swear in the president.
So the acting CJ cannot do it.
He cannot, because the law didn't say an acting Chief Justice. He says the Chief Justice.
Yeah, but the person at that
you may be creating your own law by some of these positions.
But when did the Supreme Court give the interpretation that the acting CJ cannot swear the president in?
I didn't say that the Supreme Court does not even need to give interpretation. There's a constitutional provision on the matter that says that the president must be sworn in by the Chief Justice. If we want to vary that or we want to move from that, there must be a ruling. And once there's no ruling, it's a vacuum created. And I'm saying that for just what's her name? What's the name of the
Gertrude Toko?
For Gertrude Toko, she loses nothing as compared to what the state loses.
Her reputation is at stake.
Oh, please, you're one man against the state. Look at it. That's what we say, balance of convenience. I've told you the basis on which these things are granted. Balance of convenience. If you lose, what is reputation? Can it not be remedied? That can be remedied.
How will you remedy?
Of course, when the court ruling comes and it says that you didn't do any of this, the court takes steps to remedy that situation. It's in the wisdom of the court to do it.
Not the same accusation to remove me as a CJ.
That doesn't matter. People go to court based on damages of their reputation. When you defame somebody. And when you defame somebody, what happens? Does the court wash you off?
This is different though. You based on a certain quote misconduct.
Yes.
To take her out of office.
Yes.
Right?
Good.
You put there another CJ.
Yes.
And you're saying that if the court in its own wisdom again rules that.
But is it not the same court whose process we follow to have the new Chief Justice? It's the same court.
The court said
it's the court same process. It's the same court process that removed her. So if the same court thinks in the wisdom of the court that she must be reinstated, they know what to do. We shouldn't be speaking for the judiciary.
Which court said she must be removed?
Why? Was it not the committee that removed her? The committee was in the committee
was not put together by the court. It was put
No, I mean, I think meaning legal process.
So it's the court is different.
The legal process in the domain of the executive
is the same.
No. It's the legal process in the domain of the executive.
If the president puts together a team or a committee and they take a decision, and I go to court and I get a decision, is it the same?
The president didn't put together that committee.
Let's talk within the confines of law.
It's the law, yes, I understand.
Yes.
But as for the constitution, it has several.
Where is she seeking her justice right now? Right now, where is she seeking? It's the same court that will do it. Period. Not the executive. She's not appealing to the executive. She's appealing to the judiciary. Okay. And the same judiciary has the powers, have what it takes to remedy the situation if they feel, in their wisdom, that she was removed wrongly.
Okay. But Awal, I mean, now that there's a new CJ, mustn't she let the sleeping dogs lie?
Okay.
Just so the country can move on.
So before I get that, but let me just say that indeed it is not true that in 2012 is the first time the courts were trying to arrange. They didn't even know how a decision, how to adjudicate a case in electoral dispute. The first time that people challenged elections in this country was in 2004. Rojo Metelnuno went and challenged it. The only thing that we learned from 2012 or 2013 petition is that there must be a time frame. That is the only thing. Since 1992, there are processes. There are processes. There were no processes. But when you learned from it, I'm saying that when they were, you said there were no processes. It was after 2013 that we learned and how to put things in places. But
it's not true.
The real judge, she cannot let it go, because she had served for the last 30 years at the bar. That is one. Two is that you, as a host of this program, has been elevated to be the manager of this station. Then you continue your work as a host and manager. At a point in time, they said you took some allowances, so that you were not supposed to take, so you have been removed. Do you have to lose your job as a host of the show? That is one of the things she is also challenging. That indeed she is. She was duly appointed as Justice of the Supreme Court. And she did not, her misconduct, the so-called misconduct, has nothing to do with her as a Justice of the Supreme Court, but as the CJ. So she is now challenging the process. And again, when you check, even the first process that was challenged, 2 justices said that the suspension, even first suspension, 2 justices of the court said that her suspension was unjust. Because it was 3-2.
Minority decision.
You understand? Whether minority or anything, it was not 5-0. It was 3-2. So she's now challenging the process so that not necessarily to be reinstalled. That's what I see. But I think it will be a case law for someday, if someone will want to remove the Chief Justice, it should be a Herculean task for the person to do that.
If this is what you're saying, then why did we have to wait to swear in the Chief Justice? If it's not necessarily for her to come back, and it's just
I'm assuming. Okay. I'm not saying. I'm assuming that indeed, if for nothing at all, she will do this so that at least one day, if you will want to remove the Chief Justice, you know that there is a Herculean task to be followed. But I'm saying that when you were asking whether at a point in time you were asking me whether if she wins the case and she's supposed to come back, whether she'll be able to come back or not. There was a case in UEW when a vice-chancellor was removed. Then Reverend Baffoe Bonnie was appointed as vice-chancellor, Professor Avoke. Professor Avoke went through the process and won the case.
Yeah.
But Baffoe Bonnie was not removed until his tenure ended.
That's the law.
You understand? So that's why I'm saying that this one, if she wins the case, I don't think it will reverse anything.
So many have said because that her going to court to seek that they quash the warrant that was declared by the president, removing her as Chief Justice, is a bit questionable. One would have thought that she would go seeking that they quash her removal as Justice of the Supreme Court. Whereas people have advanced the argument that it is because you were a justice of the Supreme Court, which is what qualified you to become a chief justice in any way. So the president couldn't have removed you as chief justice and left you on the bench. That has been a legal debate so far. But she is seeking the entire process be quashed.
Yes, because you see, the first thing, when you check the processes, how it started, when she will go to, she protested that even the place that the hearing was going on was really not comfortable for her. There are places that you could send her. Again, she said she was being searched by men. She was not allowed to even enter with her phone. Even her lawyers were not allowed to enter with the phone to the hearing.
By men, though?
She said all these things.
Hasn't the contrary?
No, we'll take her word.
She never said she was searched by men.
What did she say?
She said she was subjected to searches. And then
she said by men.
It's not true.
It was at the press conference.
She never said she was said by men. It's not true.
Why?
It's not true.
This morning.
It's not true. Now, you see, what is annoying? What is annoying in all this matter is that these guys have traveled all the way to ECOWAS court. They have gone through the system. Every time they are going for injunction, every time they are going for new court process, they keep losing and they keep going on and on and on. My question is that at what point did we become paranoid about this same judiciary that you so much celebrated only a few months ago?
So at what point did you also become paranoid that you will have to by all means remove the chief justice? And within a short period you have to put in a new justice?
Hold on. Gentlemen, hold on. Is it paranoia or the chief justice seeking to really test the legal processes?
No, they have become spokesperson for the chief justice. They removed chief justice. And that is what is annoying.
Put that aside. He's on a show with you analyzing this matter.
So have you become a spokesperson?
No, that's not a fair question.
Why is it not a fair question?
It's not a fair question.
No, why have you become a spokesperson?
No, he's
because the woman he said she was said by a woman. He sat on the show here and told you that it was said by a woman. Give me evidence. Every time I ask him for evidence, then his phone goes blank.
Okay, so assuming we want to go by your submission, she said what? She was subjected to what?
To searches, which is
she was not allowed to enter with
the constitutional provision based on which she was being heard is that the process must be heard in camera. How do you understand that? How do you understand that?
Wonder, you're supposed to make your points without
in camera, but the petitioners were allowed to enter with their phones, with their lawyers. She was not allowed.
Look at
you see, but you covered the story.
Her lawyer hasn't
She even did a press conference.
Said that what?
The lawyer hasn't speaking, and he hasn't been quite happy about the process.
What did he say? He said that other people entered the phones.
No, I'm not about to. I'm not about to. I'm not about to.
In any
name
court
one
proceedings,
after the other.
there is always one party that is not happy. No matter how the case went or goes, one party will be happy or not be happy. That one is normal. It's standard practice that you go to court, justice has been delivered in one angle and you don't like it.
That one is normal. She's even in court again.
She has never said she was said by men. I dare you to prove that to me. Number two, when she stated that she was where the court case was being heard and she tried to dramatize it and said that it
Why do you say dramatize?
Dramatize.
Why?
Yeah.
How do you say why? Why do you say dramatize?
It's dramatized because this is a woman who, for all this while, was the Chief Justice, okay? People have come to her court. Have you ever been to any of the Supreme Court before? Even if you entered with your phone, the phone has to be silent. Even if you entered. And everybody is subjected to searches. Well, I mean, there's at least security clearance before you enter the room. Did she just wake up to some of these rules? Number two, what did she understand when she said, when the Constitution says that it should be held in camera? So we don't understand.
For public hearing, it was not really accepted.
It is not even
but she
right
said the Badu Lodge, no one has been really heard.
It's not true. Badu Lodge was a place designated for that purpose. It was a place designated for it.
What was the concern with the Badu Lodge?
She said her uncle was abducted and killed.
Look at all
and the orchestration to abduct and kill her uncle by the NDC operatives was done at Badu Lodge.
NDC operatives.
Yes, the NDC operatives.
So if it was done,
but BNDC said NDC. How do you
say you have become spokesperson?
But this was a committee. This is just a committee.
So she told them that I am uncomfortable.
But the committee is not NDC.
No, I'm saying that. She said I am uncomfortable where you are sending me to because anytime I pass by Badu Lodge, I really
Then she should have requested that we should hear the case in the MPP headquarters.
Oh, but she said the
Wanda, we have
Chief
just been
Justice-
confirming that what he said is right. That she said that she was searched by security persons, including men.
But well,
No, we have just confirmed. We have just confirmed it.
What are you talking about?
It's her own narrative.
She said she was searched by security
personnel, including men.
Including men.
Yes.
What is that? What is including men?
No, what is
no, what is including men?
But if it's including
no, let's listen to the language. What is including men?
But you're now
that
changing,
means there
you're
were
now
women
changing,
there.
you're now changing.
If it was men, she would have just said she was searched by men. She said she was searched by security
But why would she say men
including men.
But,
What is the meaning of it? The others were gays,
but why is that
or they were what? What were
but why
they?
is it an area of concern for her to put it in?
Why should it even be?
If you're searching me and
That's
there
why
are
I
men
said
included, I'm not
sensationalism.
happy.
She's just being sensational.
Are you kidding?
What is the language she's saying that she was
You're
searched
not
by
shifting the
security
goalposts.
details, including men? What is that one?
How should she say?
No, understand. Let's understand.
How can
the
a
language.
person tell their own?
I was searched by security
How else can a person
operatives,
tell?
including men.
Which means that
Who are the
men
others?
also searched me.
Oh, excuse me, please.
Why?
But women
You
didn't
understand?
search.
No, but if a woman is searching, hang on.
Did women
But
search?
wonder.
Are women there?
Give the woman the chance.
Did women search?
Give the woman the chance.
This is just
No wonder, but
Oh,
if a
stop
woman
this.
is searching me and
Stop
a man
this,
is
please,
at the
stop
presence, I still feel that you're searching me.
Stop this.
No,
stop
she
this.
feels
You and
violated.
I-
She feels
you were not-
violated.
You
were
were
not
not
there.
there.
No problem.
It's her words.
Wonder. And I say that this
all
is
of these processes
sensationalism.
were not there, but we're here discussing it.
Excuse
right?
me. When
no,
you are entering,
from the determination of the prima facie and all the were not there. We're discussing it.
Listen to me carefully. At the entrance of the court, in that court, in fact, even the panels were even men. In that commission hearing, the panel members were even men.
No, there was one lady.
Good. Now I like that. I really wanted you
There
to
was
ask.
one lady. So if there is a search, why wouldn't it be done by women?
Number two. The lawyers, the counsel for the people who were coming, they were men, two of us.
Yeah.
And therefore, if a man is entering, who would have searched him?
Men.
Okay, if a woman is entering, who would have searched? So this comment
So she
is
said she was searched by
because
men.
everybody passed through the same entrance, and there were men and there were women. Women will search women, men will search
But
men.
that was not what
Stop this
happened.
rubbish. Stop this. Don't be doing this on the show. Please.
But I didn't even
How do you-
confirm. It was the reporter who said that indeed
She said she was searched by security details, including men.
I mentioned it.
Hang on.
You said it's not true.
They are always
Don't
men
even
in
fact
duty
check.
at
Both of
post.
you,
Be
hang on.
humble enough to
Both
take it
of
that
you,
you lied.
will you mute their mics for me?
Because you said it's not
Please
true
mute their
that she was
mics.
searched by men.
Please mute their mics. Please mute their mics.
Wonder.
You have to
you know,
ignore
you,
that. You
I
can't
mean,
say
you
that.
come. You know that you're a nice guy, right? Yeah. But the language that came out of your mouth, maybe exactly. Withdraw. No, withdraw it.
You have problems.
It's not on the table. There's
Okay,
no
sorry. No, I was sorry. But I'm saying that the comment she herself has put out. Oh, I was subjected to search by security detail, including men. What does that mean to you? Does that mean that there is no woman in that cohort?
No. That's
does
not
it
what
mean?
it means.
What does it
simply
mean?
means that I was searched and men were part of it.
Oh, please stop it.
No,
how
what's
many people,
wrong?
how many people do I require to search one person?
No, but
even in my church.
What do you understand by search?
In my church, in
What do you
Action Chapel.
understand by search?
Listen to me. In my church,
Okay,
just in
that's
Action
fine.
Chapel, at the entrance, when you go through the security pass, on the left there's men, on the left and the right there are women doing their searches. How is that the same? So you mean men gathered to search the Chief Justice?
Thank you very much. This one says the removal of Chief Justice Tokonu was clearly a premeditated move which was kept executed. It was a fulfillment of a promise they made in 2024. It has consequently set a very dangerous precedent. However, history may well vindicate her stance, as well as that of the MPP minority in Parliament. Their refusal to participate in the vetting processes for a new Chief Justice nominee was consistent with their long-held principles, demonstrating their commitment to upholding the integrity of the judiciary. I wish Chief Justice Baffoe Bonnie well. He now has the opportunity to prove the Ghanaian people wrong within the next 2 years. Manche Bruce II in Takoradi. All right. Let's move on and talk about inflation, because that talks about what happens in our pocket, right?
That's what matters, right?
Exactly. Single-digit inflation and what's happening in your pocket. Well, I'm sure now you can see that when you go to the market, some produce have come down in terms of pricing. So you're feeling the decline in inflation.
Yes, so I think usually it is not really inflation that drives the reduction.
Okay.
Usually it is the exchange rate.
Okay.
Because we are an import-driven country. We import virtually everything. So if you have stable currency, inflation is just the rate at which the increment is done. It's not necessarily has to do with the reduction and so on. So yes, it is something that we anticipate from last year, because when you check the IMF in November last year, mentioned that indeed the trajectory when the inflation shot up from 5.1 in January 2022 to 54 in December 2022, the same year. It came down from the 54 to around 23%. So they said they anticipate that indeed if we are to follow through what we're doing, this year it will end in a single digit. And I think this government came and followed through what we started. And now we're seeing the gains and the inflation is down. But you see, the problem we have right now is that two things that drives these prices: fuel price and the exchange rate. Now, the fuel prices...
And inflation is only a measure of how fast prices are rising.
Prices are rising, yes. So what we expect to see is that, especially in terms of electricity, when they are increasing it, they mention the exchange rate, then inflation. So we're expecting at least an adjustment, downwards adjustment of electricity, so that at least Ghanaians will pay. For instance, me, I pump my water with electricity. I'm not a consumer of Ghana water, so I use the electricity to pump my water, and I use it for the household. So definitely, if it comes down, it means even my water bill will also come down. So yes, it's a positive thing that we're seeing. The rate at which the prices are moving up are slower. I will want to see a stable currency, because that is what the business...
But the currency is stable now, relatively.
You see, it goes up and down. It's still swinging. The president,
but the swinging is...
It still stays in a range.
Exactly.
Yeah?
It's
within
a very healthy range.
Yes, it's within the range. I remember the president said, well, they wanted to keep it between 10 and 12.
Yeah.
That is still not healthy. At least between 11, 12, so that at least you know that it's really... But when you say between 10 and 12, it may go to 12, 12.5. You remember when it went to around 12.6 at a point in time when Bloomberg reported that it was the worst performing currency. Then it dripped down to around 10.9 today that we have. But you see, the problem with that is that we're managing it short term. When, if you're not careful, the variables change, it may also move to beyond the numbers that you want, the between 10 and 12, because you see, everything pointed to the fact that we are pumping in dollars into the system, and that is not sustainable, because today it's sustainable because gold prices had gone higher. If gold prices start to come down, it means you may not get the forex to pump in, and that is why we want this government to make sure that at least they are able to get medium to long-term solutions to this current problem that we have, where the dollar had to be swinging day in, day out. But in all, I would say the economic fundamentals are moving the right direction. It didn't also really start within the last 10 months, but at least in 2024, we saw that indeed the economy had turned corner. You remember those words when we said the economy had turned a corner, and since it turned corner, it has remained like that, and it has been coming down up to today. So yes, it is the work that has been done over time. The real true test of the NDC will be this 2026. Because you see, if you check, the government really did not spend a reason you could see that the inflation is under control. Check industry. Industry grew 9.7 the last time. This time is 3.6 for this year, 2025. But in 2024, that was how it grew. Construction, 7.1. Today, it is 2.9. It means the government has not really spent over the years. So the real test is that when they start their capital expenditure next year, that they said they will they will spend more on roads and so on. That is when we will see whether the inflation will still be manageable and will not be out of control. Okay. But as it stands today, indeed, the government has not spent, in the last 1 year, you may not even be able to point to a very concrete evidence of some progress in terms of
but if that is bringing some relief to the citizenry, that today people feel, well, some easiness in the environment and are able to go about purchasing what they want to, isn't that what government should be aiming for?
No, because you see, when you go to Ejura today, they are crying that people are not buying the maize.
Okay.
When you go to the market today, even the market woman, I've seen your vox pop that you did, and they are saying that, well, the items have come down, but the purchasing power is low. People do not have monies in their hands because the government is not spending. Look at 111 hospitals that were ongoing. All the hospital has been stopped, and the government is saying that he will do another one. There is a dualization.
He says he's going to complete 10 of such facilities.
Yes, so by the amount of money voted, he cannot complete the 10. I don't know which 10 he will complete, but the amount of money voted is woefully inadequate.
So
now,
over the weekend, I read something from the Hunter West MPP who were questioning that the Minister of Health said that their facility requires 140 million to complete. So if they say 100 million,
exactly.
But they are not part.
So that's why I'm saying that, because the 10, that's why I'm saying that the 10, the amount of money that has been voted, and they are saying they will complete 10, they can't even complete 2. So I don't think they will be, unless
you have to wait for them to finish the year, then you can ask. You said,
yes, but you see, they said they will construct 3 new hospitals in the 3 new, in some 3 new...
Six new regional, 6 of the regions.
Yes. Mm-hmm. When you check, almost all the regions have regional hospitals that we have started constructing. They are
the 6 new regions?
Yes, all the 6. It's part of the Agenda 111. All the 6 regions. When you go to Oti, it's at Uraura. When you go to Savannah, it's at Damango. We have regional hospitals that we have started. Okay. It's just like he saying that, well, the dualization of Kumasi, which started from Ofankor to Nsawam, then Lindador to Nkoko, then the Konongo bypass has been suspended. Now they will want to have a new 6th lane. When this project has already, some portion has even been completed. That today, if you're going to Kumasi, you don't even pass through Anyinam again. There is a bypass that has been completed. Now the government is abandoning that project, and now they are saying that within 3 years, which is even not possible for you to construct 6 lanes to Kumasi.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Wanda.
Inflation, so far so good. It's not true that the IMF predicted a single digit. The IMF predicted 11.7, 11.9. We're doing 8%. It's not true. It's also not true that people are not feeling what is happening. I mean, some few years ago, we were buying the Kufuor gallon of oil for 1,000 Ghana cedis. It's sold for 350, 380 Ghana cedis today. You can go check it for yourself. So it's also not true that prices are not reducing. What we haven't seen, and which is very, very common with our Ghanaian style economy, is that because a lot of our people are importers and they import virtually everything, they are more sensitive to, like you said, to the exchange rate than to inflationary pressures. And that's why we see what we're seeing. And if you look into this budget, you will see clearly that there's an attempt by government to do something within the agricultural sector, which is largely about, I mean, if you ask me, about 50% and over of the inflation basket is made up of food items. And therefore, if any government is serious, and that's why under their tenure when they were doing the planting for food and jobs, we thought it was going to be successful. And if that was successful, and from their own record, they have spent 5 billion Ghana cedis from the minister's own mouth. 5 billion Ghana cedis in planting for food and jobs. Today we don't see.
This one says the International Monetary Fund has projected an end-year single-digit inflation of 8% for Ghana for 2025.
Which date is that?
This was in July.
April 2024.
April
18, 2024.
April 18.
Was this not the reviewed one?
Say again.
There was when they came for the review in 2024, they are targeted that we were going to grow, we're going to have an inflation at 11.7.
Which we saw in June.
Which we saw in June. When this year started, then it was reviewed. It was in this year that it was reviewed.
And I'm saying that this one in 2024, the IMF predicted that we'll end this year with 8% single digit.
Okay.
Inflation.
All right. So we make progress. So at the end of the day, people don't feel what we call low inflationary figures because we are importing virtually everything. And I'm saying that they are more sensitive to imports than, especially the exchange rate, than it is to the local or domestic inflation, you want to call it. And therefore, if we can influence what we consume more, which is the food items in the food basket, we can be able to suppress inflation. Number two, if we can fix the roads, because some of the things is about transport. Yeah. I remember years ago, Ayensu starch factory was struggling to produce their starch because they have to bring the cassava from Techiman all the way to Accra. And by the time it gets to Accra, it's over 24 hours. In 24 hours, then the yield of the starch is lower. Yeah. And therefore, that added to the cost and added to production pressures and all that. So that was difficult. Then you go to areas like...
You're up now for me. I've been counted down already.
Okay. So you go to areas such as our farming areas, and there are no farm roads, there are no farm tracks, there are no inputs. And government is making sure that some of these things are put in place so we can have tractors for farmers. Yeah, today I was reading on one of the front pages that the donkey is in shortage in the Upper East region. All because they don't have the transport system to be able to plow their farms and all that. These are some of the interventions government wants to put in place in order that we can suppress the inflationary pressures that come from foodstuff and all that. And so investments in those areas are key and ongoing. Kumasi 6th lane is not because government wants to take blame for it.
All right. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Wonder Madillo,
I thought you said we were going for 9 o'clock. So now that you cut me off, no problem. Any other day.
Hey, Wonder.
You started speaking before I even entered this.
You wanted to fight with me. I beg you. You're here this morning. You're still off.
No, he told me anyway, thank you.
Wonder is a development analyst and a member. Awal Mohammed is a member of the MPP team. And they were our guests. Now, Ghana, let's talk about water tanks. Do you know there is secret to real water storage? If your tank doesn't have a tortoise on it, then it's not the correct tank. That's right. The tortoise tank, Syntex tank, is the champion of water tanks. It is strong, durable, and built to handle our Ghanaian weather. Rain or shine, Syntex has got your back. So go outside, check your tank, and if it doesn't have a tortoise on it, it's time to upgrade. Join the Syntex tank family today and enjoy water storage that's tough like a tortoise. Call 0244-335168, 0244-335168 to buy it now or find one of our 400 agents across the country. You can also shop online at syntexgh.com. Syntex tank, a strong, a tough.
Well, let me wish Adobia Asari a happy birthday to you. Today is going to be late Adobia's birthday. Did you see her heels? That is the gorgeousness, right? Okay. So Kojo is just about to tell you what Time Herbal Mixture does. Kojo, go on.
Anyway, now Time Herbal is suitable for the treatment of malaria fever, loss of appetite, general body pains. Time Herbal Mixture and capsules is also suitable for the treatment of rashes on the private parts, difficulty urinating, immune system support, and general well-being. So that's what it is. But both products are suitable for use by individuals of all genders. For bulk purchase, contact all herbal and pharmacy shops or call 0244-417669. 0244-417669. Well, Agosia.
Yes, thank you. Well done. But anyway, this is the AM show. Please stay with us. Once again, a happy birthday to you, Adobia. We love you totally.
And my regards to Lawyer Michui, my own lawyer who's doing the watching. Lawyer Michui, whoever you are, good morning to you.
Well, I'm glad that you stayed because this one will really excite you. And guess what? The Springboard Roadshow 2025 has journeyed across the nation with one purpose, connecting young people to real opportunities in agriculture, agribusiness, and agri-TVET. This year marks a historic moment as we celebrate over 500,000 young people whose lives and ambitions are shaping a new future for Ghana's agricultural value chain under the Ghana Grows program. And today we're joined by, of course, everybody loves this one, Comfort Okran. She is the Executive Director, Springboard Roadshow Foundation. So at least let us know how the journey has been so far and everything that you need to know about the Ghana Grows program. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure when I have to talk to you.
Thank you for having us.
You look amazing in that black.
Thank you.
All right. So tell me, the regions that you have traveled across so far, how has it been so far?
It's been amazing. We were privileged to started from Bolga in September, and we've spent about 45 days on the road, done about 5,000 plus kilometers around the country, and every single place has been beautiful. Last week we were in Kumasi, and that's where we have now moved from Kumasi, and we are now in Accra. We're going to have a fantastic program in Accra. Basically, every region was phenomenal.
Okay.
From Bolga, where you met we had this wonderful, and we were privileged to have joining the young people in the various regions. We had exhibition opportunities for young people to showcase what they are doing in the region. We had the traditional leaders joining us. We had various stakeholders also being part of the conversation. And it was a beautiful conversation, seeing how the leaders, as well as the young people, as well as the people who have taken advantage, showcasing how having used the opportunity to have something doing in either agriculture, agribusiness, or ATVs, along whichever value chain they are into, how they've seen a change, how they see the positivity, how they see how they've been able to transform either their personal lives, the lives of some parts of their community, and so on and so forth. So it was a beautiful journey across the nation.
Which one of the regions did you love most?
Oh,
hard to pick.
It's hard to say because Bolga was great, Wale was great, Wa was fantastic. We went to Tamale. Yeah, I mean, so the vim was there. The people were enjoying. I was enjoying myself, and we captured stories from them. Either had one-on-one with the entrepreneurs or with the people who have started doing paste that ordinarily somebody who is supposed to, who is a teacher and now is doing raising arts. So she says, I'm getting my regular salary, but I tell you, the money I'm making from my side job is more than what I'm getting from my regular salary.
Right.
So whether it's in Ho, whether it's in Tumu, everywhere there was such impact, such great news, such joy, such expression of how their lives have changed.
And so you'd say that the Ghana Grows program generally then has changed the perception or people's view about agriculture. For example, me, when I was young, I'd follow my grandmother to the farm painfully. I was not happy about it. So I grew up and would not appreciate agriculture in any way, not any form of farming. But you say that for people like us in the regions that you visited, the Ghana Grows program has changed their perceptions.
Not only has it changed their perception, but also see it's a viable career path for them. I saw this young lady, or I watched I watched this young lady who was saying that she was thinking that to be hoe and cutlass. But then, because of the way it was exposed to her showing technology, using drone technology, irrigation methods, that you don't have to take a bucket and go and fetch them, but then if you lay the pipes, you can actually have a good farm experience. If you use the right kind of caging, your birds are good. So then the exposure to the extended value chain, different opportunities for marketing people, the fact that you don't need to go and sit in a particular office or wait for that particular job for you to line up. But if you go to somebody who is started adding value to oil, and so you can actually start marketing the oils. In the north, there were so many companies that were now adding value to sesame seeds, groundnuts, shea nuts, oil, you know, that you can use in the kitchen, you know, baobab oil, different types of oil that was being done in the north. That, for me, showcases that people are realizing that we don't have to always depend on things that we import. I was listening to the discussion this morning, and we're talking about the imports, and I was like, no, we have to see the people in the north who are adding value to the oils that they grow in Ghana, seeing how that is even a healthier choice, and therefore we will start advocating for us to use our locally grown and locally manufactured oils, so that in that case we are creating more jobs for people. We are creating more opportunities for young people who have ventured into those spaces. Then they can see that, oh, their venture is not only viable, but they can make great income from there, and they will be able to realize their goals and opportunities.
Which then brings the conversation moving to the national front to have it wider.
Yes.
But I also see that you have had some collaboration with APSA. Tell me about it.
Well, with the APSA, because, you know, financial inclusion is everything. Where you have, any young person knows that it's not just about making money, but it's having a prudent way of making your money, ensuring that you are keeping good tabs on it, and then also you are able to, if you want to get some funding, you're able to get funding responsibly. So yes, we have joined APSA, or APSA has joined us to ensure that throughout the region they are able to open what we call the Spark account, where you don't need to go to a banking hall to go and open an account, but right on your phone you type the necessary numbers, and then you're able to open an APSA account on your phone.
And this is exclusive to the participants?
It's not exclusive to the participants, but as participants who come to the various programs are able to open their APSA, their new APSA accounts, and then immediately they can bank. They don't need to have, you know how sometimes when you go, they'll say, oh, come with your various
your
documents.
birth certificate that your grandmother left for your weighing card.
So as you have your Ghana card, you are more than able to open a new account, and it's very, very light. There's no fees on the account and that.
So 22nd November is the grand finale, which you've just been telling people. But tell me more about it. What is the expectation?
Well, you see, when you have the opportunity to meet over 3,000-4,000 people, young people together, and we come to deliberate about issues. We've said over and over again, we want to touch base with our 500,000 plus participants across the nation, and we've been able to do that. But in Accra, we are saying that let's celebrate, let's have a grand program. And so we're actually working with the Office of the Vice President to see how we can make that very, very
grand,
you know, and for this particular one, when participants who would come to the UPSA auditorium, the Ohene Jan program.
The UPSA auditorium is quite a popular one. They will miss
yes,
it. Yes,
the UPSA, when they come there, you would not only meet the venerable Lady Vice President, Her Excellency, but we'll be privileged to have the APSA MD would also have, you know, different people who showcase how they have benefited from the program. So there's going to be a grand exhibition of different young people. We would also have the opportunity to crown 3 young people in young innovators across the nation. So we've had different entries from across the nation showcasing what they are doing in either agriculture, agribusiness, or ATVs. You would also have the privilege, 3 young people would go away with a very famous wow moment. There'll be a computer for somebody, there'll be a phone, a brand new phone for somebody. So it's going to be an interesting showcase. And of course, because you have young people, you can't have something without having any music, dance, and fun, you know. So we are going to have Miraki as giving us some really lovely opening performances, and Fancy Gadam, no, sorry, not Fancy, sorry. One young gentleman giving us some music and so on, poetry recitals and dancing. It's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah.
We look forward to that. It's the 22nd day of November this year at the UPSC auditorium.
It's this Saturday.
This Saturday.
Coming Saturday.
Let's just say coming Saturday. Let's just say the date as if it's some, which is just right around the corner.
Yes, it's coming Saturday.
Yes, you don't want to miss it. Okay? And all of their social media pages, the information is there. You will not miss it. It's UPSA Ohene Konedu Auditorium.
Ohene Konedu
Auditorium, 2nd November.
Yeah.
Just the Saturday at 9 a.m. You don't want to miss it.
Yes,
but always a pleasure when we get to talk to you.
Yes,
Thank you so much.
and I want to say that one of the things that I have found out, I mean, with this program that we've been privileged to do with MasterCard Foundation, that's the Ghana Grows program, is that young people are not only taking advantage, but persons with disabilities are also having the privilege of realizing that there's opportunity for them in the extended value chain. Whether you have a young person who has now started his or her own mushroom farm or so on and so forth. In Kumasi, the head of the, what do we call it? The head of the persons with disability said publicly that at first they used to depend every time he'll get a phone call. When is our common fund coming? Says now those calls that come to him have reduced. So it tells you that, and this is because of the Ghana Growth Program, the fact that they got the various opportunities that they got to see where they can play a role in the extended value chain. And so I don't know who is listening to us today. I would like to encourage you that to make it a point to be at the UPSA auditorium on Saturday, coming Saturday, from 9 o'clock. Please come before 9 because I can tell you the place is going to be full. We are making preparations for everybody to be part of it and come and see the exhibitions, the innovations that will be showcased. And additionally, you would also see those who have seen, who are being rewarded for the innovations in agriculture, agribusiness, and ATV.
Thank you so much, because it was a pleasure, Comforter Kran. Thank you, and do see you at the Springboard Roadshow Foundation program, the Ghana Growth program at the UPSA. Please stay this morning. You're watching the AM show. Now, let me have your full attention and let's talk about the Men's Mental Wellness event. Now, Brain Fitness Center Africa is a wellness and mental health non-profit organization committed to enhancing emotional resilience, cognitive vitality, and holistic well-being across the continent. The P.K. Mwabing Leadership Foundation as well. Now, together, they're going to be holding this event at the British Council, which will be happening on the 27th day of November. Now, this morning, I'm joined by Lizette Berry, founder of Brain Fitness Center Africa, Jerome Deres Abe as well. And he will be talking at this event. He's a Master of Business Coach and will be speaking at this event, which I do not want you to miss. But let me start with you, Lizette. What has necessitated this event? Why do we need to talk about men's mental health?
For a very long time, we've been doing programs for women and youth and kids, and it looks like the men are always left out. And we're also in a continent where people feel like men are strong, they can handle anything. And I started observing the men around me, my friends, clients, and family members, and I discovered that men are going through a lot. They just don't talk about it. They don't even know how to express themselves, but they also need to be heard.
Okay.
So I said it was time to do something for the men.
And is it a very staggering number that most men don't even talk about something when they're bothered at all? Is it a very major concern?
It is. It is. And we do a program called Mental Health First Aid. It's a hotline where people can call anonymously. Surprisingly, men call more than women.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what are some of the common things?
Because they can't sleep. And then you know that nobody sees you. They don't need to give you their name when they call. So it's really anonymous. So they call at night, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. They can't sleep. They're thinking a lot, and they need someone to talk to.
Okay. I'll come to you, Jerome, but let me stay with you just a little bit. What are some of the common themes, some of the things that they talk about when they call?
Family, a lot of them. Family. They're struggling with providing financially, and fathers with girl children, I think that one it comes up a lot. They are really worried about their young girls. And then there are also women, like, yeah, a lot of rejection when it comes to young people. They deal with rejection and stuff like that. And stress, school, book work, and work generally, it's really stressful for some people.
It must be a real good time to have this conversation. Jerome, what does this whole men's mental health conversation mean to you?
So, as she said before, like, I think it's very important for men to also have a space to talk to trustworthy people and to exchange information, because many men have the same issues, like, yes, like she said before, like providing for the whole family. We want to be the strong man, but we don't know how to do it. And everybody has different burdens, but the the society tells us not to speak about it, not to complain about it, but be the strong man. So I think it's good that men see that they are not the only one having these problems and these issues.
Tell me just a little bit about yourself, first of all, and then maybe tell me what people should expect for this event.
Yeah, so I came very early into this topic because I was born by a German single mom. I'm half Ghanaian, half German, and I was raised by my single German mom because my father had the same issues, like he didn't know how to provide, so his reaction was like just running away. So I came into the situation of being a son and also wanting to be the protector for my mom and the provider, which was not possible as a child. So this pressure was in me all the time. So I was like, as soon as I'm 18, I want to earn money. I want to help my mom. I want to help my future wife. I want to help everybody. And I recognized, okay, that's a lot of pressure, but I didn't want to talk about it because I wanted to be strong. And then when I went into business, I recognized that I didn't do it because of purpose. I did it more because of, of pressure. So I was feeling like something is hunting me. Like if I don't earn enough money, I'm not good enough and all that stuff. And then in the beginning, I didn't open up to anybody. I was just smiling, being the friendly guy everywhere. But then when I opened up, I recognized, oh, all the men have the same issues. So I did a formation, a certificate in Germany, business master coaching, where we learned how to transform beliefs, how to transform habits, and also how to understand our issues more and how to reflect ourselves better and how to ask the right questions to come to the best results. And this is what I'm doing to men. So.
Which means that you're very in touch with your Ghanaian side here. Some of the things that you may have heard about the Ghanaian or the African men going through, does it surprise you? Some of the things that you hear, your father, you mentioned that, I mean, he faced the same problem. It's even more prevalent now that you're even in Ghana. You see it, you feel it even closer. But does it even surprise you at all?
It doesn't surprise me. It's just another picture than in Germany, but it's the same topic, I guess. Okay. But Lizard, tell me, who is speaking at this event apart from Jerome?
We'll have PK Amabin, who is a partner for the event. He will be speaking. We'll have some journalists, Godwin, Kobiche. We'll have a lawyer. We have this very interesting panel, which is made up of a lawyer, a journalist, a psychologist, and a neuroscientist. And they are going to be going detailedly into what makes a man. Okay. So that panel is really interesting. And there's another one where Jerome is, and another business person, and people who have lives on public platforms. So it's like everybody sees that your life is looking beautiful and all nice, but what goes on behind the scenes? So that panel, they will be talking to us about personal experiences and stuff.
So this event is not just for men?
No, women can come around to support. I mean, we've been doing He for Her program. This is the time for us to come and support the men. And I feel like you can take this opportunity to get your man a gift. You know, sometimes we are waiting for Val's Day and then we don't even buy anything too useful. So this is something you can get for the man. Surprise him and bring them. Come along. If you can bring the family along to support. You have boys and even girls, like bring them along and support. It's very important.
How easy or difficult will it be to convince the man in your life, maybe your father, your brother, at least to come for this event? Because it starts from the fact that they don't even want to talk about it at all. Yeah. Can you give us a trick to be able to convince them to come for this program? Because they have to. It's a gift I want to get for them.
Sure. So the first thing is making people understand that mental illness is not mental health. When we're talking about mental health, it's in the word health. Everybody needs to be healthy. And sometimes we're working just on our body, but your mind needs to be healthy. It needs to be fit. So these conversations we are having, mental health concerns everybody. everybody deals with some mental health issue. Not everybody will get mentally ill, but everybody deals with mental health issues. So it's a topic that should really not have any stigma around. It's something people should be free to talk about because it's just health.
Jerome, tell me, 27th, when we come to the British Council, which you'll be there and you'll be speaking as well, which are some of the areas you'd be discussing?
So the first thing is, like, I want to create a community, so I want everybody to feel like, oh, I'm not alone with this issue. And then I want to give solutions on, if you're in a certain situation, I'm going to go through my own story and tell people how I helped different people who had the same situation, and how they can overcome it. Because I think the main issue is that they don't talk.
Yeah.
Because they feel lonely because they don't talk.
Why though? You're a man. Why don't you talk?
I think it's because the society tells us to be strong, and many men feel weak when they talk about problems. Like, for example, if I complain like, oh, I feel lonely sometimes, I feel misunderstood, I don't feel understood by my wife, I don't feel understood by even my friends sometimes. They feel like, oh, I don't want to complain too much because it looks like I don't control my situation, but I want to be a leader, so I want to be a guide, and I want to control the situation. So if the situation controls me, I'm complaining and everybody will see it. So they don't want to look weak.
Okay. Well, do we have to pay to come to this event?
Yes, it's 200 cedis for a ticket, but if you're in a group of 10, you can get a discount.
I agree. I'll insist on the discounts for you, okay? The more you are, even better. So let's go to the British Council, 27th of November.
November, 3 p.m.
Okay.
And there's also going to be an exhibition just before the event starts, where they'll be showing like some products for men and stuff like that. So you come around early, you can go and look at some of those things before we sit down and actually start the event.
Okay, is it a whole day program?
Well, yeah, the exhibition starts.
Yeah,
the exhibition starts early. It starts like 12, and then we sit down for the event itself from 3. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, moving forward, how can people be part of this community that you're building? Is there social media? Is there an office? How can we find you?
Yes. It's this event we are doing is not just an event. We're starting a movement because we really want to create that safe space where men talk about issues. So there are going to be programs at our office where we have maybe a few men sit together and try to help each other.
Okay.
And there are other programs like mental toughness training exercises and just things that will help you maximize your mental potential for both men and women.
Okay.
So our office is located at Chado, Chado Roundabout. And you can find us on all social media, Brain Fitness Center Africa.
Okay.
It's easy to get to us. If you get on our website, you can send a message. Our numbers are also up there.
You can as well call in the middle of the night. That's quite a key program that you do. Yeah, whatever it is, at least you can reserve the middle of the night and give that call. Just find somebody to speak to. So the speakers of the events you see on your screen now, Brain Fitness Center, real men, real emotions. This place will be a great place to be, to have all the gist, to know how to live with them. Well, thank you so much, Jerome. How can we find you beyond this event? You have a social media page you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok and Instagram. It's jerome.deris.abe. Yeah, there you can find me, there you can find my content. I may say something about the event.
Sure.
So why I would advise women to come is because I think conflicts between women and men only exist because we don't understand each other. So I invited more women than men. I invited like maybe 10 men and 15 women. Because many women complain about the men being emotionally unavailable or something, but they don't know what's going on in their head.
Yeah.
So if you come as a woman, you will definitely understand men better, and I think it will just connect men and women better. And I think this is what it's all about. Like, God created men and women to be together and not to fight against each other.
Yeah. Okay. Sisters, well, we have a date then. Come and let's go, okay? We do have a date, but Lizette Berry, founder of Brain Fitness Center Africa. We've also been speaking to Jerome Deris Abe. He is a master business coach, and as well, we'll be speaking at the event. Jerome and Lizette, thank you so much for joining us today. We'll see you at the event then.
Thank you. See you.
Please stay. There's more after this.
Bro, I don't like what this. Recording.
Well, Kojo, I have seen this video, and why we're unable to show you the full video is that is a woman that you see. And if you saw the video before we showing it to you on the TV channel this morning, you will know that that woman is naked with a full-grown man beating a whole woman, the full clear of people. In fact, if it wasn't a tenant per the story as we have it, just on the face of it, if it wasn't a tenant who was videoing this, we'd never know that a woman is going through this. You've seen it on your screen. We have to blur it because we can't show you. But it is just all forms of bad and terrible. Well, if it makes you feel any better, the police has actually moved on to arrest the man that you see in the video beating up this woman. But I have a question, Kojo.
Yeah, MFA. Marriage, we have to say this. Marriage is not for young kids. Marriage is not for animals. Marriage is for matured people. So if you're an animal, unfortunately, you may be human, but your thinking capability and your actions are not human-like, right? Because I don't get why an older person like the man we're seeing in the video will maltreat the wife in the presence of people the way she has. No man should ever lay a hand on a woman. You see, that marriage is not rosy. There are misunderstandings. But you don't need to beat a woman if you're a man. I always say that a man who beats his wife is not man enough. Because, I mean, when issues come...
This is not a man. This is just... you can liken this... We're not in the animal kingdom, you know.
But that's why I say, it's not for an animal, it's not for a kid. A kid might not process things well, but look, you disgrace your wife.
He has just shut the gate because he doesn't even want anybody to help the woman.
You disgrace your wife in this manner. You hit the woman with 2 stakes.
As for this one,
2 stakes.
I pray that the court that will go to, the judge who will be presiding over this, will be a woman who will be touched differently on all levels to preside over this issue. Because this one, we must scapegoat. But you see, before a man will lay their hands on you, and it's hard that I have to say this, you will see the red flags. You will see it. Woman, don't sit.
If you listen to the narrative, this has been happening.
Of course.
It has been happening.
What will make a woman want to stay? Why? When you went back to your parents' house, you cannot start a life all over again? Or what? We've been made to believe that marriage is what it is, so you must stay. Of course, this is not marriage.
No, this is not.
This is not marriage.
I mean, when it gets physical, like the way this animal is beating the woman, I mean, it's crossed the...
Look at that.
And look, he even used the leg to...
Look at that.
Her. When the lady tried to protect her.
It's complete madness.
So, I mean, I watch this and I'm like, I mean, how do some men decide that we're going to slap our wives? And then you move on from slapping...
This one,
you move on from slapping to maltreating her. And now this is an attempt to kill her. Because he was hitting the woman.
This one is a threat to society.
Yeah, he is.
It's a threat to society. This one, I know that every crime, whatever it is bailable. But this one, he's a threat. If you bail him, you can't beat somebody again. He needs to be there. He should be in custody.
Those of us in marriage, we know that misunderstandings do come. But you don't slap. No. Misunderstandings, they're everywhere. But when they come, you talk about it because you're two matured people.
My goodness.
So it happens at dawn. When either spouse will wake up and say, this thing that you did this day, I don't like it. Can we change it? You talk about it, then you...
Kojo, before a man will beat a woman, do they not show it slightly?
I don't know, because maybe I've not done something.
It's because it's madness.
I don't know. I didn't see my father beat my mother.
Be retarded.
I've not seen my uncle beat the wife. I haven't seen it.
No way.
So it's difficult. But I guess that, as you're saying, there may be the red flags.
Of course there will be.
But I'm saying that men, I want to speak to men. No matter what the provocation, you should owe it to yourself as a man to say, I want to die as a man who didn't lay my hand on a woman.
I don't think even a man would do this. This only happens in the animal kingdom, so it cannot be.
Because this is so barbaric. This is cruelty. This is an attempt to maim the lady.
Well, we're happy that the police has arrested this man, but I hope that the woman is fine, receiving some sort of care that she has to.
She has to get all the love that she can.
She has to. She has to. Well, let's have you also share your thoughts on this. Or not really, because it's a woman involved, we shouldn't be showing you this, but it is there. It's already out there. We've tried to cover this, but it is bad. If you see the original video, it is bad. We'll put the number on the screen.
If you go onto my online, it says police arrest man seen assaulting wife in viral Facebook video. 2 others picked up for attacking witness.
Yes.
Interesting.
Yes.
So go onto my online and read details of that particular.
It is our top story, actually.
But women should not be supporting, or human beings should not be supporting animals like this guy to be doing what they do.
Because your men don't do this.
No,
just animals.
No, you can't do this.
Men don't do this.
This is just, I mean, it's unmanly. It is inhumane. It beats all logic that you beat your wife like the way this man has done.
Sure.
Naked.
It's going to log
in the full glare of people. How would you do this? I mean.
In this Ghana?
Yeah.
In this same Ghana?
Yeah. So you see, when men or when people are training their sons, they need to let them know that you don't become a man by maltreating a woman.
The punishment must be punitive enough.
Yeah, this one.
If it is strong enough, it would deter many people. Look at this.
This is so bad. It's so bad. I mean, from all angles, you cannot really assign any reasoning to what this man did. And he's bold enough. Look at him. This man, I'm sure, cannot even stand his fellow man. Usually, people like this, they can't stand their fellow men. They can't even lay a hand on them.
My grandson, Aite, will beat him to death. Noah, I have you on the line. Noah, tell me where you're calling from.
Yes, I'm calling from Issue.
Okay, Noah, please proceed.
In fact, this is more than barbaric. If there is a word more than barbaric, I think
it's evil.
Man, I actually live in one. There was this man who used to molest the wife, just like what this man is doing. So one day I came, he was just in the wife, and he realized that me, a man, I was weeping. And I threatened him that the next time he will do that thing again, I'm going to report him. He thought joke like joke. And I reported him. And since then, the things. So people like this, they are not supposed to be in the society. And you'll be surprised the lawyer will go and be defending this. The evidence are clear. He has to go to jail.
Noah, thank you so much for calling us and sharing your thoughts on this. We have Isa from Tamale. Isa, if you can hear me, please share your thoughts.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Isa.
Yeah, please, can I speak on the Springboard show program?
Isa, kindly speak up if you can hear us.
Yes. For me, it's like what Springboard is doing is to influence the youth to take part in agriculture. For me, we have existing farmers, and these existing farmers are not doing well at all. And none of the youth will see such existing farmers and want to be a farmer. So what we are saying is that let's strengthen the existing farmers.
Okay.
So that the youth will see the existing farmers doing well. Just look at what is happening in the Galamsey area. Nobody influences another to go into Galamsey because people see that when you go into Galamsey, you make big-time money. So let's strengthen the existing farmers.
Okay. All right. I mean, we wanted to share your thought with us on that particular video we saw. I mean, someone even says it goes beyond inhumane, and I say, well, we can then say this is evil.
Yeah.
This is someone trying to maim another human being, and when another human being wants to maim another man, that's you're being evil then. I mean, it's terrible. This video we have on the screens now. We want you to share your thought on it with us, because this must not be.
We just have Eric on phone as well. Hi, Eric. If you can hear us, please share your thoughts.
Yeah, good morning to you guys in the studio. You're doing a very fantastic job. And I think what the man is doing, have you people, try to find out the reason he's doing this? Because you ask yourself, what will make a man do this a woman? I just don't get it. You can even fight with the person, but not going to the extent of, beating her with those kind of, is it sticks or metal? It doesn't make sense. If she's doing something and you think you are not okay with it, let her go. Let her leave the relationship. Send her to a family. Because these days, we know the ladies, some of them are very hard to listen, to take instructions. So if you think the person is not listening to you or doing something that you think it's not in conformity with your spirit, let the person leave. Rather than treating the lady like this, it doesn't make sense to me. It's very inhumane, and every man should take a lesson from this. And the man doesn't. Sanso na mema no so yedoso. Nti se obi titiwa, me ntnase emma enche wo so nkoye de ewuye because de ewuye ikra de. E chen se wo ye bontam, manonko, matnase na nye wetunji because nkwan hu here. Good morning.
You as well can share your thoughts on this one. I know, quite appalling. It was yesterday I saw it on social media and I was shocked. I said,
I decided not to watch it.
I don't know. It showed up on my timeline and I said, okay, this has my attention.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Until just when I decided that, okay, I'm going to bounce off. And then something said, okay, no, let me watch the video. That I watched it and I just got angry.
I knew it.
Because you see, my son, I'll tell him, I'll train him well such that he will not be a woman abuser. And if a man tries to abuse his sisters, oh, wallahi, I'll tell my son what to do. You cannot be doing this.
You cannot.
And the law, we're happy they've grabbed him. The law has to, there was a judge.
We'll talk about the judge shortly.
Okay.
Let's speak to Reverend Kofi. Hello, Reverend Kofi. Good morning. Thanks for calling.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Watching this video, I'm too sad. But you know what? I think that, first of all, the man first, and then man came, and then again, his family might fight, and that would come. I'm so sad to see that. The Lord has so sad.
Yeah. Let's just speak to Frank as well. And thank you, Reverend Kofi, for sharing your thoughts. Frank, if you can hear me, please share your thoughts. Yes, proceed.
Good morning.
Morning, Frank.
Yeah, I'm calling from Ho.
Frank, you're Frank.
Madillo Before.
Like in your Ho.
I will be positive.
I love this.
Madillo Before.
Good.
I will be positive.
Please proceed.
I just want to say that what is happening, or what I'm saying now is uncalled for. The man's supposed to be punished because you cannot handle a human being like this. Are you getting my point?
Yes, I do.
You cannot handle a human being like this. He's violating the woman human rights.
the lawmakers are supposed to arrest this man and sentence it.
Yes,
it's not the best.
The police has arrested. They have picked him up.
Huh? It's not the best. So the man, yes, it's supposed to be punished. They shouldn't waste time for him. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Frank, who just called us from Ho. It looks as if, Kujo, it looks as if there is a general consensus that this man, should be picked up, should not be spared. It looks as if there's a day we're going to agree that all of us as a nation will not even want to give him a fair hearing, that he has something to say. What does he have to say?
I mean, look.
What does he have to say about this?
There's evidence that you're beating the woman. But just that the law says that he has to be given fair hearing.
I mean, I agree.
So you get a hearing.
You will get a hearing.
As for the going inside, the judge will give a There was a judge in Western Region. If you rape someone and they bring you to him, he will listen to you, and then when he knows your age, he will multiply it by 2. Yeah. That was how he was. So this one, we don't know. The judge will look into it and will give a ruling that will be deterrent enough so that men will not abuse the women in this way.
I hope this woman recovers, because beyond she being beaten, her naked videos as well circulating on social media. While it is one of the most difficult means, it was a necessary act for her to get help. Unfortunately, because the people were questioning why this video was put on social media. But unfortunately, it was just the most potent way at that time for the person to get some justice for this woman. But for this man, I'm not too sure. It's like the whole country, we're on the same page. Justice.
Why would anybody defend this?
I hope that this woman is well wherever she is.
Nobody can defend this.
And getting some mental help as well.
This is evil. And he has to face, so they say to every action there's a reaction. So he has to face the reaction for his action.
Of course, and we'll react for him.
Yeah. And then the law will react in favor of the woman.
Okay. Anyway, usually I'll be telling you to get some good breakfast at downtown with a very happy mood. But you, this morning, we have married. So if you don't get the breakfast this morning, you can at least have some lunch. So start your morning with a good breakfast at Downtown Kitchen in Asylum Down. Whether you prefer it local or continental, enjoy good hot coffee, tea, eggs, sandwiches, or any meal of your choice before you begin your day. Take a proper lunch break at Downtown Kitchen as well inside Asylum Down. You cannot miss it. The meals are wholesome, the atmosphere is calm and friendly, and the service very, very professional and very memorable. Quick enough to get you back to your work time so that you don't have to miss out on all of this busy day. When you get to work and it's busy, of course, Downtown Kitchen will bring you food, very fresh, delicious meals delivered right at your office or your shop, wherever. Only duty is just to call 055-773-0009, 055-773-0009. You can as well ask for coffee, and Kofi will be more than happy to serve you and make sure that you have a good meal from Downtown Kitchen. But Ghana, are you ready? The wait is over. The Compute Ghana Cashback Sales Festival is back, and this time is bigger, better, and way more rewarding. From October to December, shop your favorite brands: Samsung, LG, TCL, HP, Lenovo, Dell, Techno, Infinix, and more at any Compute Ghana showroom nationwide. Enjoy instant discounts, sweet cashback deals, and surprise gifts with every purchase. And that's not all, though. It's like my heart is paining me, the video. It's just... All right. Your voice automatically enters you into 3 massive raffles where you could win TVs, laptop phones, cash prizes, and yes, the ultimate prize, a brand new SUV. And every Friday, the fun goes next level with live exhibitions, FIFA gaming battles, free health checks, and loads of excitement. It's not just shopping, it's a whole festival vibe. So what are you waiting for? Bring the family, bring your friends, and let's make every Friday a Compute Ghana unforgettable. Shop, save, win big. Visit Compute Ghana or shop online at www.computeghana.com, or you can call them 030-275-2020 or WhatsApp them on 0243-143-143 for more details. And of course, this promo is in partnership with the NLA under the Caritas Lottery platform. It is rewards, joy, and pure celebration all season long, only at Compute Ghana Cashback Sales Festival. Well, we shall take you to Bank of Ghana a bit shortly. Recall that yesterday we had that little conversation over the International Currency Conference that will be happening today. We shall take you then as well. The Ghana is celebrating 60. But stay with me. We'll take you there right after this one.